Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here.
So what are you talking about, sleeping nude?
Well, no, my wife, she is a warm... Okay, we're getting a new bed. This is where this topic of conversation came up.
Yeah.
And we're getting one of those beds where you can control the...
Oh, the temperature?
Yeah.
Like the self-cooling?
The different
I want
sides
that.
of the bed.
Yes.
She can have it the way she wants it. I can have it the way I want it.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. And this all stems from the fact that, and I know you guys used to clown on me, but the Swedes kind of started this, but my wife and I sleep with separate blanks, separate blankies, separate comforters.
Yeah.
I have a sheet and a blanket that is my sheet and blanket. She has a blanket. She does not want the sheet. She has a blanket that is hers.
Yeah, normally I would poo-poo on,
You want to yuck on my yum.
You have separate bank accounts, I yell at you about all this stuff, but the separate blankets...
Separate, but equal.
I can get behind.
Yeah,
I can
separate
get behind
blankets.
it because it doesn't make any sense. We use one blanket that we're constantly tugging on, because let's be honest. After a while of
Y'all
being
don't
married...
spoon?
Hell no.
No spooning going
I
on?
mean, she wants me to, and then...
My wife doesn't want it because my wife's a hot sleeper. It has nothing to do with the level of love that she has for me or the fact that I want to bang her. I do all the time. There's just she is a hot sleeper. She don't want me on her.
I'll cuddle with her or rub her back. She wants me to tickle her back, so I'll just hold my hand, and my hand will be numb. I'll be brushing her back.
Andrea makes me do that. I feel like it's the necessary back tickles I gotta get to get something
Dude,
to
you
happen.
have a tickler right next to you from Fairville.
That's
Bring that
that's
home.
a
I'm
French
not
tickler.
bringing that home. I don't want anybody to see that.
French tickler.
My sons will see that, and then
a French tickler.
They
They'll
won't
start
mind.
whipping each other's faces with it.
but they'll once they're adult, they'll see one of these and be like, "Oh, my mom and dad used to have this." I'm like, "Yeah,
that's Dad's tickle stick.
yeah." All just because of my
I
hand.
mean, parents have sex.
Yeah, but
But
you
not
don't
that
wanna,
kind of sex.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to think about it,
You don't want to think about
Like
it.
I'm disgusted the fact that I now know why my dad had mirrors on the top of his bed
Oh, yeah.
of his old '80s bed. It makes me want
My
to
God,
barf.
I know your mom,
Disgusting.
and I know your mom, and it bothers me too.
So I'm like,
I don't know
This
why
is
it
so
does.
weird.
who
Yeah,
wants
we
to think of
are.
their parents?
It's
It's
just nobody wants to
disgusting.
think about
I don't
that.
want to think about it,
Yeah.
but it's also like, it happens. They do it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I knew it happened because it scientifically
odd-
impossible not to.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But
The odd thing
I don't want to know that they like it, or there's some mirror up
I
there,
don't wanna know
or I
they
got
like
a tickler or a B plug or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want any of that.
Lou, any
no
of that.
mirrors,
I don't
no
see
ticklers,
nothing.
no B-plugs, none of that. What I was trying to
Don't
figure
ask,
out,
don't tell.
if I were laying on the bed while my mom and dad were on the bed and there was a mirror on the ceiling, would my mom's bush come out the sides? Could I see it?
Like you see it from the front or the back.
Right. If you can see it from the back, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's like Buzz Lightyear's wings.
Bush so big I can see it from the back.
Wow.
Did you? Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway, why were we talking about that?
Oh, sleeping naked.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
your bed.
Thank you. So my wife is a, you know what I just did? I was like, I woke up like, where am I?
Aw.
My wife, she is a very warm sleeper. I believe that I'm dying because at night when I get into bed, I get very cold, like Game of Thrones, the Ice Emperor. And I start to, that's your body dying, I feel like. That's like Raynaud's disease.
Yeah.
There's bad circulation in me.
Yeah. It's like my pop-up. I used to come, he's watching boxing with a blanket
Yeah.
over
I have
his
3 blankets.
knees. And it's 88 degrees inside the house. And I'm like, why is you have a blanket on? And why is the boxing on so loud? I'm screaming at you.
Yeah, loud and hot.
Well, your body is failing you.
Yeah.
At
You
that
can't
point.
hear.
You
I
can't
get loud
hear.
and hot. No, so
Is that circulation or something?
It is
Yeah.
circulation. So I have a sheet, I have a microfiber blanket, and then I have another microfiber
Oh
blanket
my
just on
God,
my feet.
too many blankets.
And then my wife just has one microfiber blanket. So she gets up, and I see her going into the bathroom, and she is walking into the bathroom, and she just has on panties. And I'm like, whoa, would you sleep like that? Because she never sleeps like that. She's like, yeah, I got hot. And I go, well, why do you have panties on? Why don't you just sleep naked?
Right.
And there's something about with her, she needs to have the line of protection from her genitals to the sheets. And
That's the time you're supposed to go bottomless.
I
in
think
bed.
that's what I say.
Gotta air that thing out at night.
That's what I say. And I think it's weird, but there's just something about her where I think she feels more secure that way.
Do your dogs sleep on your bed?
Yes.
Mm.
One of them does.
Okay.
Only Maggie does.
When we used to have
Maggie
Lena,
does.
because Crystal was the same way, and Lena used to not only sleep on top of our bed, but under the covers, like by Crystal's feet and stuff. Like Lena would snuggle with her at night. It was the weirdest thing in the world. When I'm like, what the hell is this dog doing? Like when Crystal would go to bed, she would lift up the blanket, and Lena would crawl under the blanket and then
God.
lay down in the crevice between
behind
her
knees. Yeah,
on their
my
knees.
dog used to do that. When we
Under
used
the-
to let him sleep in the bed with us.
And then she would wiggle her snoot out.
They wiggle their snoot out, so they're tucked for warmth with their snoot. They get maximum air.
Yeah. I think if the snoot is uncovered, it cools their body down. I think there's some.
all their heat
There's some
snoot.
snoot science there.
Well, all
It's
of
like
their
a-
heat is snoop operative. It's only in the snoot.
It's like a fox taking a one of those little cotton balls or whatever to like get in the river, so all the fleas climb
the
on.
hell are you talking
You
about?
know that happens.
He's having a stroke.
This guy took Jesse's
fox and a
acid.
cotton ball.
He just took Jesse's acid. He lost his
Oh
mind.
my god.
Like a fox will like take a.
What does the fox say?
What a reference.
They'll
What is
climb in
that,
a
20-
river.
2014?
I don't know.
And then they'll hold on with their teeth to some sort of like fur ball or something, and all the fleas will jump, like be escaping the water and get onto the fur ball.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I
fascinating.
have no idea. What
And then
you're
they'll
talking
spit the fur ball
That
out.
is fascinating.
That
That is
happens.
a smart ass
about.
fox.
What are you watching? Wild America over there, Pop
That is
Pop?
good, Mike. I wouldn't even.
They'll
think
do
to
that in the wild.
That's genius.
Anyway, they put the snoot out, so the cold.
Yeah, Caesar does that. He has like a little bed we bought him at Big Lots, and he gets in it. He makes a nest, and then like it's near the wall, so he'll tuck in, and then his nose will just peek out just a little bit.
So anyway, back to the animals. And if you have animals, they shed. There's dog hair. There's dog sand. There's dog.
We don't have the sand. It's a different.
whatever. Yeah, and
It's
like,
different.
I'm
It's
just
a little
saying,
different.
dog debris. You know, that all animals
We
have.
don't really have dog
fallen.
debris. You would
No?
always talk about dog debris and sand.
Well,
and-
we had a way.
it was a larger dog, right? That's
Yeah.
a big boy dog. That's
We
like
had-
a medium to large size dog.
But
These
I-
are pee-pee dogs.
I think even the pee-pee dogs, like they have some sort of.
And they'll be sneezing under there.
Yeah.
and-
They're even if they don't shed,
They do a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
that. They do a lot of that.
There's like dead skin, dog,
Yeah,
animal
yeah,
stuff.
standard, yeah.
There's-
And then so it's like Andrea doesn't want. She needs some sort of protection with the animal stuff.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Crystal would never sleep naked too. I mean, ours
That
was
makes
to the
a-
point where it's like I need full-on fisherman waders because our bed is disgusting. And no, I'm saying when Lena, because those sand and Lena's
Dude,
oil, she
I
had
don't
a
know.
butt oil problem. She had all, and like she was, dying slowly, so she was falling apart and sleeping in her bed.
It's
Old
the anal
dying
glands.
dog.
The anal glands.
Yeah, the anal gland, and like so. I don't want to put my feet down there either.
My feet are fine down there. I don't want to put anything else down there.
Maybe I'm team no animal. Like I was.
Are you?
I think he
am.
is because they can just
Crystal
go and
wants one
do-
bad, but,
they can just go and do trips now, and I'm jealous. I mean, this became like a bit of a thing in my household. I'm Pee-Pee Dog Central, dude, and I love them, but I don't have the freedom you have.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the freedom just to take my family and just go and do something because
Yeah.
now I got to find somebody to watch these goddamn Pee-Pee dogs.
Dude.
Which, by the way, Maggie, who I do love, and it's the only and lasting connection I have to my parents who are both deceased, is literally peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Caesar's fine. He occasionally Caesar will party too hard, and what I mean by that, like he'll eat his bowl of food too fast, and then maybe he'll like get a stinger, belly stinger, and then he'll fall asleep and he'll pee.
Yeah.
Maybe once a year, but that is once a year. But Maggie is out of control.
Yeah. And older dogs, they become incontinent sometimes, and then they start pee-peeing everywhere. Anyway, I went to
I'm
the
with you,
beach
man.
this weekend, and me and Crystal were like, "That just set the alarm and
Yep.
get the hell." Got in the
Bye-bye.
car and drove away, and there
Awesome.
was nothing,
That's the way to do it.
And
It's the way to do it.
Quir-
But you will live an extremely lonely life.
well, I got the kids. I don't even know the stinking
Yeah,
dog.
but
or
they
what
hate you. The dogs will love you. That's the reason I
true.
love my dogs.
Nah,
is because,
Tommy. That's how I Tommy will
Well,
love
but
me
yeah.
forever.
Well,
I don't like listen. It's just like kids when we tell Samantha, team no kids. I won't know. I do know because I had Lena. Seemed like a pain in the ass. It was
No, it is a
dying
pain
in my
in the ass.
bed.
No, I just told you not even a minute ago that you're doing it right.
Poo poo, pee pee. All of,
Yeah, it's definitely better. But I mean, they both have their pros and cons. But I think right now you guys are going to benefit more from not having something you got to watch all the time. It's not fun.
But then it's like the kids don't have that quintessential dog growing up that
Not
most
everybody
kids have.
do, though.
No,
Not everybody
but
can be the same. You know, I mean that one to me. I don't know.
It's like we all had, like Crystal had animals growing up. I had animals growing up. Like most of all my friends had animals.
Yeah, but
you live
like-
in Florida.
Get them an exotic animal.
Half
Don't get
your
them
family lives on your street. They all got a zoo over there.
Yeah,
Why don't
you
you
got
just bring them
birds.
over there to visit the animals?
Yeah, they do. And they're like skittish around them a little bit because they're not used to being around animals. And Crystal says, "See, like they're like nervous around animals." I'm like,
Maybe
good.
because you're screaming at them about being nervous.
You want them to be Steve Earle? Like what?
Too soon.
What? But I was like, what is the benefit of them? Like, all right, they're a little standoffish with dogs because they're not around dogs all the time.
You just don't want them to be like that one member of my family that I have that goes to like a Valentine's Day party and bursts out into tears when a poodle just puts its hand.
That's ridiculous. That's over. I don't think they'll get like that.
I don't think so either.
They're just like they're a little standoffish because they're not used to dogs, but they don't run and cry. I wouldn't let them do that. I'll be like, I'll hold them down and let the dog
bite their face off. Maul him good.
But it seems like Team No Dog.
I try to get her though, because she'll wear going back to sleeping naked. Like she will wear pajama pants, but still have panties on under the.
It's too much. At
Right.
night.
I think it's too hot, and I'm like, that's too hot. You need to do, but it's just a comfortability thing. I think to her, it's like just like it'd be no different than like my dad couldn't wear a dress shirt without having a V-neck, like Hanes white T-shirt underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he would never do it if he didn't have a white Hanes V-neck T-shirt.
Wouldn't be comfortable.
He wouldn't put his. He'd just be like, "Well, I gotta wash
Wear
some
something
before."
else, yeah.
He'd have to wash some before he goes out.
How does the bed cool itself? Like, what is it? Does it circulate air?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it circulates air.
like air conditioned seats. Does it have pores?
Yeah,
or
it's got pores. It's porous, and it like.
I need one of those.
And it pumps air through it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then there's like sheets that are supposed to like aid with that and be more like wicking or I don't know. Look, no idea.
But if you got the air holes,
I got the air holes.
like coming through like those air conditioned seats because I've sat in cars.
I got
with
the
AC
one. It
seats,
warms
and
your
nice.
it warms your feet. Like you time it. You put it on a timer, and supposedly if you warm your feet, like right, like as you're getting tired, it'll put you to sleep like really good. Like that's the science is like the foot warmth like makes your body start pumping some sort of chemical. that makes you, like,
Crystal sleeps with socks.
Right.
And she swears by it every night.
Andrea
she can't
does
sleep
too.
without socks.
Andrea does too, and I hate it. You know, there's nothing worse than pumping your wife when she's still got socks on, but she's completely naked. I hate it. And they're novelty socks. They're like raw
Thigh
socks.
highs?
No, they're like raw socks. They're like the fun socks I
like
like to wear. They're
goof
like,
socks.
oh look, avocado toast socks. My wife, I'm pumping my wife. She's got avocado toast socks on. I hate it. Take those off. We're not children. But
Have her
anyway,
wear thigh highs, sexier.
there is science to it, and this bed will warm your feet gently. Like you put it on a timer, so like if my bedtime's like 10:30, it'll start warming your feet, and then if I
That's
sleep.
nice, yeah. Because sometimes, like, I'll get super high before I go to sleep, and then my extremities will get cold.
That's what
Like,
happens to me.
I feel
Maybe
I'm
that's
like,
what I'm doing.
I'm like, am I dying? Because
This
I
is
feel like
this is
my
what you're describing it.
my hands and feet
You're describing-
are as cold as a block of ice.
That's what. Okay, then we're doing the same thing. Well,
Yeah,
help
yeah.
me with this. What is that? Then it's not my
I
circulation.
don't know. It's called too high, being too high.
There's no such thing as that.
No, I know. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying it happens the most. And then I remember one night, Chris was like, "Put socks on. Why are you so cold?" I don't want to tell her like I'm so high. Like that somehow
I'm too high for socks.
my brain has made my feet cold because I'm too high. And then I put socks on. Then I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like,
There is a thing called weed chills, where it feels
Ooh,
like
I want a weed chills. Where do I buy
what
these?
makes
So what we
you
got?
feel like you're getting you get like chills and you get really
Oh,
cold.
I thought this was a product I could buy.
No,
I was
no,
gonna-
no.
I'll be like, give me 3 weed
It is
chills.
What is that?
I don't know why it does it, but yeah, it's a thing.
Well, it's a good thing. Well, then I should get my wife on it, and then
There
she
you
won't
go.
be hot
"No,
at night.
she's a nerd. She'll never do weed."
I know she won't do anything.
What if you
What if I sneak it into her food?
Well, what if you gave her like a brownie that had weed in it, right? And you didn't tell her.
Dude,
Like,
she
Oh, by the way, she made
How
brownies.
much would
she
you
made
freak
brownies
out?
this weekend, but from scratch, not from a box. Like she
Yeah.
made them with like real cocoa, and like from like here are the ingredients, and she sifted. Oh my God, they're amazing.
Oh, yeah,
I can
yeah.
only imagine if you added marijuana to that, how much they'd be even more amazing.
well, you've just, I mean, it'd be the same taste. It's just then you're high after, extremely high.
This would be bad for her. She'd very freak out, and start crying.
We should just start crying.
I think she would
Yeah,
start
yeah,
crying.
yeah.
She starts crying at everything.
We should go to the hospital. We should
Yeah,
probably go to the
she'd make
hospital.
me go. She's like, he did this. I'm at the hospital because of him. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, don't worry.
You
I've
couldn't
got my
talk her out of
medical
it, right?
card, and if I seem weird right now, I just have the weed chills. If I seem cool, if you guys are looking at me, you think I look cool, it's because I have the weed chills.
Because one of my favorite things to hear about are people going to
I
the
know.
hospital because they got too high. Like
It's
it makes me laugh.
Especially now because you're risking getting COVID to tell people you got the damn weed chills. You're-
because there's nothing is
Yeah.
gonna happen to you,
In
but
fact,
you're just
right
so
now-
paranoid and
right now
having a
you
panic attack.
This isn't. Look, nobody listens to this show for like advice on how to live your life better. Okay, let me just preface that by saying this.
Yeah.
But right now would be the worst time to go to the hospital because you overdosed on marijuana.
Yeah.
Somebody should
Because
hold you down.
right?
I don't think they'd even let you in.
No, they'll send you out-
They should laugh you out of there. They should say, "Look, just call an Uber. You shouldn't be driving." Right? I think we can all agree. Don't drive impaired.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
more,
we all-
Correct.
that's
Yeah.
more
I think we all know
dangerous
that.
than you
Absolutely.
having weed chills. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing will happen to you.
You shouldn't die. You shouldn't drive impaired on anything, whether it's prescription medication, whether it's alcohol, whether it's caffeine,
Apparently,
grief.
THC lowers your internal body temperature, and it causes the body to stop producing heat, which can contribute to cold hands or cold feet.
That's
after
what I
smoking
got.
Marijuana.
Okay, then I
It
feel a
lowers
lot
your
better.
body temperature.
Yes.
See, I feel
lowers
a
your
lot
internal
better.
body temperature. Not like a lot. Like
Just
it's not,
just a 1 degree
And
or whatever,
I
and then you get cold. Your hands.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I will tell you, I was going to go to my doctor.
I was in a weed group, and someone had mentioned that before, and I'd never heard of it. But I was like, I do get cold sometimes after I partake, and then I looked into it, and it's a thing.
I did the math and I was like, yep, this is
They
happening.
call it,
I never
they call
looked
it
into
THC-induced hypothermia, but it's not like dangerous.
they're dangerous.
Yeah.
You just feel cold.
Well, then, okay, follow me on this. If there's no danger, then change the goddamn name because hypothermia can kill you.
Weed chills, bro.
No, I'm just saying they always do that. They're like,
Yeah.
Well, the
you
medical
have,
name-
and apparently you have lupus, but it's the lupus that makes you incredibly wealthy and attractive. Like, don't do that. Make it a different name.
You have weed cancer. Like what? But
Don't worry, it just makes your feet very cold. Stupid, man.
Yeah.
It's just very, very. Well, see, thank you, Sam. That
Yeah,
makes me
you're
feel
welcome.
better. That makes me feel a lot better. Now I won't mention it to my doctor. Would you like to continue doing some voicemail messages?
Yeah.
All right, let's do these. I got a bunch. This one, it was kind of tying into was something we were talking about. Remember when? Well, here, just listen.
Hey guys, BDM Justin here. Now I was giving you a call. The degradation of the youth of the world. Everybody's like, oh, it's TikTok, it's social media, YouTube, yada yada yada. I propose to you that is not the situation. The first example and the source of people having no grit and lacking the ability to operate in society comes down to the youth of America having these large trucks and constantly being unable to park them straight in. I don't know about you, but as a young man, I had a F-150, and if I had to back it in, I knew that my day was ruined. I obviously didn't know how to drive. I wasn't able to pull in. I had to back in because I lacked the skills necessary to operate a vehicle and to operate within real man's life.
So is he saying that nobody in his family taught him how to drive a larger vehicle?
Well,
I used to be better at it. When my dad had only larger vehicles, like we had Suburbans, we had a regular old school Bronco.
So you get to practice on the bigger stuff.
Yeah, well, it's what I learned to drive on. I learned to drive in a Suburban. So there was a point in time in my younger life when driving a Suburban, a LeSabre, a GMC Jimmy, a Bronco. I'm trying to think of the other vehicles we had. An Expedition. I was better at it. It was the only vehicles we had. You know, we had the camper, we had the boat.
I think that's what he's saying is that growing up he didn't have that. So then, like we were saying, the people that get these like off-road trucks and they
don't know how to drive them. Yeah,
I see that a
Seth's
lot.
boat.
I see that a lot. You know what I see a lot?
You have money. You want a giant Chevy Silverado, dude. Like
I don't see. I want tiny, fast. Like I like little, fast, zippy little sporty cars. Right? Like those are the ones. I mean, to each his own, but I'm just saying, like, if I were rich, give me the tiniest, fastest.
I think it's more of like maybe you live not in the city and you want that quintessential.
I see a lot of big trucks. That's
F-150
a Florida thing.
Yeah. Like you want to show off with your big truck. Like I'm with you. I was down in Miami, so it was all like I had a mini truck. I'm like,
mini trucks are cool. They're back now too.
But it's like no one really wanted the quintessential big truck. I mean, there's a few big trucks, but very limited. It just Miami.
Wasn't the culture.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm sure
like?
Here there's a whole culture of like having jacked up big trucks
No.
that your rich parents bought you, right? You
One
can't drive.
One of the things lately that I've been doing is going into car forums and stuff like that. I'm trying to find like better places of social media where it's
it's
fun,
not a hellhole.
where it's not a hellhole.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think is really fun to watch is watching car culture that involves the same car but different. Like adamantly different polarizing views on what they should do with the car. Like guy who has the new, like probably the hottest SUV in the world right now is that new Bronco that I'll probably never see mine. But there was a guy that he delivered his brand new 4-door Bronco. This car hadn't been made in 50 years or something like that.
Yeah,
it's the hottest SUV in the market. And this guy is more of as Tom would say, like a thugster. This guy likes his rap. And he went down that vein and he turned his car into his dream car and put the tiny little, almost like impossible to pop thin wheels on the biggest rims. Like, do what you want. It's your car, but just watching
mini
all the...
truck it. He mini trucked
he
it.
money trucked it. And then you watch all of the old men who saw what he did to it just melting down. Oh, it's so fun. It's a very fun read. It's a very fun read.
You do the opposite and then you put a snorkel and jack it up and you know what I'm saying is
right.
Opposite sides of the
Both
spectrum.
are going to Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's unfair.
That should be the tagline. Both are going to Walmart.
They are. I mean, you see the guy who's in there, like you said, Snorkel Johnny, who's like, I would never run. That is impractical. It's like, dude, you've never taken your Jeep off-road ever. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's and that's what most people when they spend a lot of money on aftermarket parts and things like that to make their truck or car or whatever look nice. Most likely, they don't want to jeopardize that by putting it through. It's like there's a
Why
reason,
would you?
like those when they do like hydraulic competitions or whatever, and they're bouncing the car as high as it can go. There's a reason why those cars are usually just literally the shell.
Yeah.
Well, first of lightweight or whatever, but it's like also they bounce them until the shocks or whatever explode off. You're using junk cars for that purpose. You're not going to use your show car to knock $1,000 worth of chrome screws that you bought off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take care of that.
We got to take a break.
We got to get out of here.
Oh, we got to get out of here. So I guess we're going to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
So, this weekend's Labor Day weekend,
It
right?
is, yeah. Which one? What do we do for this one? What is it, Labor Day? What is it to do?
To not work, right?
Is this the
not
one? I
work
don't know.
labor.
We
I don't know what any of these
celebrate all the laborers of society. Everybody who has jobs, and it's a day of
Nobody
rest.
has jobs. Everybody's hiring.
I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're celebrating.
Why are we celebrating this?
You go out to the beach or on your boat or barbecue, you get wasted. That's all.
That's what I'm going to do. You argue with your wife.
Yeah.
You embarrass yourself in front of your children.
So, I used to go out and take a boat out or whatever, go to the beach on Labor Day weekend when I was younger, and it was always S-slammed, crazy chaos. I mean, it's the most, like, the times I went out on my boat Labor Day weekend, it's chaos. Everybody with the boat is out. Every place is packed. It's, and it seems like people are more drunk and more inexperienced and it seemed more dangerous than any other time. And then there was more cops. All the cops are out.
I can remember one Labor Day coming home from boating with you. I don't know if you'll
from the
remember
Glen,
this.
from the Glen. Yeah,
and
yeah.
was it the time we were racing the storm, and everybody was racing back at the same time to try and beat the storm?
Well,
and there were so many boats racing back that I'm like, we're dead, because it was just. Do you
yeah,
remember
pure chaos.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you went out a couple times. There's one time we were on the swingers houseboat. That was Labor Day weekend. We went out.
Now that could have been really fun.
And
These old MILFs were in that hot tub, and they were ready to froth those things up. Man.
So it's just like there's cops everywhere. The boat ramps are packed crazy. Everybody's out. There's no place to, like, everybody's got the good spots. It's like it's just always a mess.
Yeah.
So I tend to never go out on those holiday weekends because I don't want to deal with any
That's
of
kind
that.
of like the beach. Like I just won't go
yeah.
to the beach.
Yeah,
It's
getting
too
like
packed,
that though.
right?
Like
Yeah.
all
Who
the
wants to
time.
go to the beach
Like
when
it's getting like I remember going to the beach where you could still go. Old man, I'm not gonna say that. I remember when you would go and you'd be. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not doing it.
Dude, I was there at the beach.
Fine, the beach is great. I love it.
I was at the
Awesome.
beach and there was no one there.
Never packed.
You just have to get away from the tourist areas. Like,
Right.
if you go to Coconuts, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying?
I
packed.
never go to Coconut.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you go to the pier
I
or you
kind of
go.
want to go though.
But I know.
I kind
know,
of want to
I
go
know.
to Otters on the River. I kind of want to see Mike Busey and Super Dave host the contest of
that
contests.
That's never that packed, by the way, because it's
It
not
wasn't
that.
when I went either.
Yeah. It's not a destination. It's a,
They have the regulars.
Yeah.
I want to be a regular.
It's a swamp hag scenario.
I love
Anyway.
a good swamp hag scenario.
So,
That sounds like a math rock band, but of hillbillies.
So I usually don't go out. And then some BDM told me that the last time I said this, it was probably last year or whatever.
It was last year because I remember you were like, this guy told me it was fine.
Someone said it wasn't that packed. And then I started to think, well, maybe it's the pendulum swing back because everybody's like me. And because I often think like the average
you're
Joe.
unique?
No. I don't think I'm unique at all. I think like other people, like the average Joe does.
Yeah.
Like
You're basic.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah, I'm basic too.
Yeah, I'm basic. So what I often think, a lot of other people think, I think I'm creative or like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Just like taking my boat to the boat ramp after hours.
Yeah, everybody
and then
does
everybody was there with their broken stuff, just like me.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, of course they are. This is what you do when you have broken things. You take it to the boat ramp when you think that it's not gonna be busy.
Right.
And so we're all there with our broken things at the same time.
Sure.
So is it that people are scared away by holiday weekends now and there isn't that many people out? And so it's the opposite effect. It's like people like me don't want to go out for Labor Day on my boat. Therefore, it's not as packed as I think.
I'm going to say that just the pure concentration of people that were forced inside due to the virus and the number of boats that have been purchased
Correct.
and the number of boats that are hard to find, that you're going to have a higher concentration of maybe new boaters all going out, and most of you
Like
guys
Seth,
are going to
Yes,
stay back.
and Seth's going out this weekend. So,
So
that
I
makes
would
sense.
say it might. Okay, follow me here. So I'm going to say that if you were to go there and take a picture, it's going to look pretty close to normal. Unfortunately, everybody out there is an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
yeah. Well, that's what it's always
if
been
you're
usually.
Joe
yeah.
Average, and if you're Mr. Grew Up on a boat, and you are, and I know you know boating.
yeah,
Look,
but
I'd love to goof on you, but you know how to boat.
I'm
Most guys like you are staying in. So most of your buddies that you used to boat with, the guys that even I know, most of those guys would all agree, even the couple that we know in the houseboat, they would all agree, nah, it's not worth it, unless you had that houseboat. And I think that they got out there. Didn't they stay out there the whole week? So they were out there early to commandeer the good spot.
We also went out on Monday,
Right.
which a lot of people, Labor Day is not actually the pack day. It's the Sunday
It's the
before
Sunday.
Labor Day.
Right.
Because
Then everyone can recover on the
yes,
Monday.
Yeah. Like, so if you want to go out, actually go out on Labor Day. It's less packed, than
Jay's going out there. He's in our Twitch chat room,
Hey, Jay, let us
twitch.tv/TommyDanLive. He said he will fire us off a photo and let us know exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
But on Monday, he's going
Yeah.
out there Monday.
Go out
Oh, well,
there Monday.
that's the less busy day.
It's going to be a good
Right.
day. I bet Monday's a good day.
So anyway, back to Seth wanting to borrow my truck. So he.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So Seth Petrozelli, who just
Well,
recently bought a boat,
Yeah. So he
a
texted
massive
me.
boat.
He wants to go down to St. Pete and he's looking for a truck so he could tow his boat. And he's like, "Let me borrow your truck. I'll swap your cars." And I want to do it.
I hope you crash his car.
Get it, dude. Get his motorcycle.
You got that orb,
So-
bro.
Both. Get the motorcycle and the car. That way you can take your old lady to dinner in the Hellcat, and then you guys can do and then you can do topless wheelies up and down your street.
We don't got our whole affairs worked out yet, and for sure we'll leave our kids to my parents or somewhere. I don't know who gets
you
them
can
the
leave
state.
leave your parents in. You can leave the kids inside for a little while. Just have them on the phone.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about leave them forever. And when I crash my
Yeah,
motorcycle, I get killed.
Oh no, I do this trick
You
all
don't
the
have
time.
something written up with Bernie on who gets your kids when you die?
The ultimate leave.
I don't know if this is good or not, but there are
I
times
yelled
when
it one time.
I will call Maisie's iPad and from FaceTime, and then I'll walk to Publix and leave her completely alone in the house.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I just look at her. Yeah, I'm talking to her the whole time.
You can leave her the whole weekend. She'll make her
Well,
food.
she's boiling she's boiling pasta. She's making the whole
weekend. Maisie's fine. Maisie is more responsible than I am.
She's more responsible than I am.
Anyway, so back to borrowing the truck. So, and you mentioned telling my wife. Well, this happened back in the day with the Grizz and the Grizz's brother. Do you remember the story?
I do.
And this traumatized my wife to this day about loaning out her
out.
vehicle.
So this is a great idea then.
Well, because I want to ask you the truth behind it.
All
Okay.
great ideas strike twice.
And this is, by the way, when she was maybe like 22. So she's still like, I think she paid all her car payment or whatever. I think her dad may have like split her insurance. It was something like that where you're a young kid. You're like, so she had a car payment.
You make deals on things.
Or maybe her dad is in the insurance. He's in an insurance business. So he may be more strict about this thing. Anyway, so the Grizz needed to go get his brother's boat, the one that we sunk up here.
Yes.
Because his brother got in trouble in high school, and then his mom like grounded him from ever using the boat for like a year or whatever. So the boat was just going to be sitting there.
Unconventional grounding too. It's like we're taking away something you totally do not need.
Privileged S right there.
No, it wasn't. They were Florida trash that had broken boats and jet skis. Same thing with me.
Most
it's like,
Florida people.
This is not rich. Like he lived in Naples, so it was Naples trash.
You
had
just
an
weren't
old
near
boat.
water enough, Sam. If you'd have been near water, I feel pretty confident your pop would have had a boat.
I will disagree with that.
This
sir.
was
drugs are way more fun for
But,
him.
But doing drugs on a boat's fantastic.
But he bought it for like $2,000 by working side jobs to get a mildew 15-foot. We called it the Bonita. But it was like a 87 15-foot bow rider ski boat with mildew on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a nice boat.
No.
Like, he had that, and then he got in trouble. So then the Grizz was like, I need to go down and get a boat. Then we'll have a boat. And I was like, yes, do it. But we didn't have a truck. And then my truck transmission was always shaky, and I was like, it'll never make it from
your
Naples.
mini truck.
Yeah, my little S15.
You don't want to pull a boat with a mini truck either. It looks weird.
You could do it. It just, I knew my transmission, it was already slipping out of first gear, and I was just going to ruin it from there. So Crystal had her truck, and so the Grizz convinced her to borrow the truck. So he went down to Naples, and then he was down there. He let his brother borrow the truck to go to the store.
You just
or whatever.
start handing trucks to everyone. Use it. Yeah.
I mean, we're irresponsible. Grizz is irresponsible. Everybody, no one's responsible.
Yeah, it's not a big deal to loan a truck to somebody that doesn't know the person that loans the truck.
It isn't on the insurance.
And then he crashed it. Not horribly, but enough to pop the airbags out and break the headlights. And
I would argue that's horribly. I mean,
but it didn't
what
crumple.
Did he hit?
Another car. So then
it's just like it ain't gonna be drivable, right? I mean,
no, he drove it back with the airbags taped in. He just taped.
Oh my
he
god!
taped the deflated airbag to the thing, and then took the boat still, and then drove it back. So when he showed up, we should call Crystal and find out what happened. Give her a call because I'm telling you, she's still traumatized by this. And when I tell her about Seth borrowing the car, I guarantee you she's gonna bring it up because she's like, "What if it crashes?" Because then, what happened is, her insurance went up because she was in charge of the accident, and because it was the Grizz's brother's fault.
I want to know how he broke it to Crystal because. I mean, they're best friends.
He pulled up and
he's known her for forever.
He pulled up. I remember this. Pulled up to University Club at UCF. Me and Crystal were sitting on the porch. He pulled up with the boat, and then you could tell the front of the truck had damage.
Was she crying immediately,
or
screaming?
No, she was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Oh, I crashed your truck." That's what happened.
That's how dumb people do it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
I crashed your truck.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
And they're
you're dumb.
Cool. Which line?
Line 1.
Crystal, can you hear us?
I hear you.
All right, awesome.
So, babe, remember when Zach borrowed your truck in college and and then drove it down and then let his brother drive? Where did he let his brother go? Like, at first it was a lie, I think.
Which makes it,
and then we found out years later that he just...
Years later?
He went up to go buy a beer at the Fina across the street.
my God.
He was 13 years old.
I don't remember where he went, but he was taking his 15-year-old girlfriend somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how old was
He didn't even have... Oh, yeah, he wasn't even 16, right? Or
maybe.
was he 16 yet?
I think he was 16 and his girlfriend was 15.
Okay. So then when he crashed it, what was... Because I remember your dad got super mad, and then you vowed...
Oh, my God, he was so pissed.
Yeah. So what happened now?
I was traumatized, honestly. I was so... Oh, my God. Anyway, my dad owns an insurance company, so he was very big on not loaning anybody your car because then you're liable and yada, yada. So I secretly lent my friend my car, and then he secretly lent his little brother my car, and he crashed it. My dad was absolutely furious. He crashed into, like, a German tourist in a rental, like a Mustang or something. He basically T-boned her. Oh my God. But I don't know what details you're looking for.
Well, what happened? Your insurance was like basically you were blamed for the accident, even though you weren't driving, right?
Well, I wasn't personally, but yeah, my insurance had to cover the whole thing.
And then
how did he break the he just pulls up and he's like, "Hey, sorry, I wrecked your truck, no big deal," or how did he?
No, I called, and back then I was calling their mom's house number. So the brother answered, and he's like, "Hey, Crystal, I crashed your truck."
Oh, it was the brother.
Oh my God!
And then I'm like, "Shut up! Put Zach on the phone. I want to know when he's coming back." And then Zach gets on. And he's like, "Oh God, he's not joking."
So
and it was,
now,
man.
Is that how it works? If you lend someone your car and they crash it, what if they're an adult and they have insurance themselves? Because here's why I'm even calling you about this.
I thought maybe you were going to bail on even asking.
No. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's my truck.
He doesn't have to ask for permission, he said.
I do whatever I want.
I mean, I would argue that you sold your wife's dream car to buy the truck. And let's call it.
She got her dream car back.
Yeah,
it
but
just took
the heated seats are not the same in this one. I know that.
It's a newer.
Daniel, thank you. The heated seat is not the same.
Yep, I know. You know why? Because I
the
listened to
same.
details, and you told me that one time, and I logged it in my strange memory.
How do you remember that?
I don't know. I only remember dumb stuff, and I remembered her.
Daniel, you know why? Okay, Daniel does pay attention to details because those things are important to him as well. Where you're like aloof, just living this life in this world, just wandering around. The rest of us are trying
They
to
call it Magooing. Get it right.
Anyway, who are you lending your truck
details.
to?
Yeah. He's chirping his way around life. I'm Magooing. It's Chirpy and Magoo.
Chirpy and Magoo. It's like a kid show.
Anyway, so Seth wants to bring his boat down to St. Pete for Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, for Labor Day.
God.
And then he
This
wants
guy bought a boat he can't tow. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
His truck's out of commission for a couple months, he said.
No, he's
building
getting
it.
a, no,
is that what he's doing, building it?
He's building like a $68,000 or $70,000 Scout. An original.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, why you would not use the classic car to pull a boat? But hey, man, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do.
What is it? What is he building?
He's building a Scout. Hey, I'll show you.
What's the Scout?
I'll show you.
Okay, it's a Bronco.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Listen, so you're telling me that on the 20th anniversary of my truck being crashed by a friend, you're going to lend your truck to a friend to drive to the southwest coast of Florida, just like Zach did, to tow a boat, which is just what Zach did. All he did was go down there to get a boat.
Yeah,
right?
but difference is Zach and his brother were poor, dirt poor at the time. Seth's rich.
It's an
But he's cheap as hell.
Your wife will know it's an international harvester product.
Oh yeah. I've seen these things. They're
Yeah, it's a Scout.
okay. So what is the rule as far as like, okay, if Seth crashes my truck?
That's on you because it's your truck and your insurance. He's not on it. Now,
Right,
if he was
like,
on your
I
insurance, it'd be different.
Yeah. The insurance insures the car, I think, not the driver, right? I don't work in insurance, though. I just want to be clear. I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's the car that's insured, not the person.
Yeah, and legally, whoever's driving it should be under the insurance.
Well, what if Seth gives his insurance card to in the
His
accident?
insurance company probably wouldn't cover a car.
yeah,
Like, what
right.
if Seth was What if Seth was paying insurance on a 1985 Ford Fiesta, and then he crashed your car? Like, his insurance
Yeah, I guess
is not
you're
going
right.
to pay for your car.
Yeah, how stupid they
repair.
say. So if Seth does crash the truck, because, I mean, there's more likelihood of him. Well, I mean, I guess I could crash his Hellcat. I mean, it's
Right?
crazy.
A crash for crash scenario?
So I mean, if he
Well,
tells
I
me
will
I'm
say
going to
this.
immediately drive his Hellcat
Hold
into
on.
7-Eleven.
It's way more likely that Seth is going to have an accident in our truck because he doesn't know how to tow a
She
boat,
said our truck.
right? Like, does he know how to back it in? He's going to jackknife it and dent the bumper. Like, this is not. Does he know how to do it?
Well, the bumper's already dented. I mean,
It better not be.
Also,
the doors are. I see the doors.
I would just, and the kids, like, your Traverse, that's your car, and that's Daddy's truck, right? Like, so I'm saying,
Right, but financially, you and I are tied together legally. So whatever decisions you make affect me.
Decided that.
Yeah, that's right. I
This
told you
is,
to get separate
not
cars
turning
like I
out
got.
well for
I
you,
got separate
Tom.
cars. I can pull a switch at any moment, and I'm out of here. You know how warm my bug out bag is right now? Oh, it's ready to go.
But I want to drive around the Hellcat and
With your wife.
No, with the boys.
Crystal-
Really,
Crystal-
she's not get in there.
No, Crystal
But-
likes fast cars. Every time you used to bring home like a Mustang or like,
Oh, yeah, I used to
like
borrow-
she
yeah,
used
that
to get a
Camaro.
convertible, and you guys are going, and you go get a pack of cigarettes and start driving around Orlando.
Yeah, that's right.
Hot-blooded chicken sea.
I can get in the Hellcat. I could
Put the windows down.
We
the
can go
pack
on a
of
date.
parliaments.
Impress the kids, as Seth says.
Yeah. We could. I'll
Front
take.
you go to Ziggy Marley, a front yard festival, and then you go pump each other behind that. What's that place called with a big fountain where the Tony where the Bubbaloo's barbecue on Lee Road? Barrage.
Oh yeah, Ravanage.
You guys can go. You guys can go.
We go to the Ravanage Ale House.
You can do mutual masturbation behind the Ravanage Ale House.
You guys.
There's a parking lot back there.
I like to standing 69 my wife behind Ravanage. Can't even do it. Too short. Too short. I'm too short to do that.
But babe, we can get in Seth's Hellcat. I'll take you up to Daytona. We go
get
to
you some oysters at the
Daytona.
Ocean Deck. Your favorite restaurant, the Ocean Deck.
Yeah, we're gonna Ocean Deck. We'll cruise A1A with the
No,
windows
take it down
down.
to the beach.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
it down, get
I'll-
sand.
Oh,
get
yeah.
I'll rev
water.
the engine.
Yes.
My son, imagine how awesome Tommy and Max would be like, whoa, it's got blood. It's got blood, as if you ran over homeless people. I don't know why it has blood. But
Yeah, but then they're gonna get in it and say, "Can I have my Kindle?" Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
God, they'll think it's cool.
They don't care.
That's what Maisie would do. She's
They
like,
like
iPad, please.
No, when I got rid of the WRX, they were like, the Catmobile. They used to call it the Catmobile when they were
Catmobile.
What?
Yeah, like
The
the
cat
PJ
car.
Masks,
It
the
was a
cat
cat.
car.
Oh, okay. I
Like
thought
a
you
PJ
were
Masks.
like, I'm Catman.
No.
I was like trying to figure that
I
one
had
out.
no idea.
I was like, what the hell is this guy doing?
It was It was the PJ Masks. They,
Yeah,
they,
the Catboys car. Yeah, I got you.
Catboy.
I'm on brand now.
Anyway, they thought it was cool. So it's like Seth's Hellcat. It's it looks like a cool car. The boys will be impressed.
It is a cool car. It's very fast.
We're driving around for Labor Day.
Oh my god! You want him to take it on a holiday weekend too, when the boat ramps are going to be the
Yeah.
most crazy amateur hour you've ever seen? It's not a good idea, babe. Our car's going to end up at the bottom of some boat ramp underwater.
Oh,
He's going to have the wrong ball hitch size on there.
Oh.
He's not going to plug in the brakes. Like, there's something.
She's right.
I don't
Are you calling me for permission, by the way, or?
Well, he said he didn't need permission from you because it's his truck.
He told me he was calling you to let you know what was going down.
Let you know what's good.
Well, I already told Seth, let's do it, because all I can think about is driving around the Hellcat with my sons. Oh, my God. And then them being like, I want them to think I'm cool. And if I brought that home,
it
they'd
is
be
a
like,
cool
whoa,
car.
This is awesome.
It'll also help your drift car neighbor will like it. It's going to help your standing. Suntan Sally will like it. Dr. Ghoul's a muscle car guy.
He can teach me how to drift it.
Yeah.
I go to Walmart parking lot in the middle of the night.
It's going to do a lot of, it's going to undo the damage of leaving your boat in front of your house all week.
You can go to the street races on Saturday night.
Oh, where's that at?
Oh, there's a bunch of different areas where they congregate.
You can go.
But you'll be the oldest guy there.
Yeah, you can run up to this.
No, there's some old.
There's Latin night up at the old Steak and Shake. Pull up there, put some reggaeton on, and relive your chunga vibes.
I lift up the hood, and like the car show style. Anyway, what's the worst that could happen? Seth crashes the truck.
I just detailed it to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you crash the truck, that's why we have insurance, right? It's like the insurance.
Yeah, I don't want to pay a deductible and have a higher rate for the next 5 years because we loaned a car to somebody who didn't know how to drive it. Listen, if it was just car for car, that's fine, but he's going to tow a boat. My question is, does he know how to operate a trailer? Does he know how to tow something?
No.
I think
he's going to back it in.
He's gonna have one of his friends do it. Like he doesn't know.
Okay,
He says he has a friend called Dr. Backup. I don't know. It doesn't sound legit to me.
I mean, what are the chances of him actually breaking the truck? I don't want to be the overcautious guy. Be like, what happened?
Well, should we be talking about like, have you guys ever driven in like, what's a Hellcat got in it? 500 horsepower?
No, it's a car. It's just a car. I mean, it's got a gas and a brake, right? Like that.
Although I do watch those souped up Mustang videos online where the old dad hits the gas and then
he kills himself.
It gets sideways then he can't. And then for whatever reason, he lets off the gas and immediately whips him into the crowd that's watching on the sidelines. Man. And then people are screaming like, "Oh!" and then he's hitting the people. And then I'm like, man, that guy. Or then he'll slam both front tires in the medium.
You don't stay and hang out for the rest of the day after you've watched some people get killed, right?
No, they didn't kill him, but they flew off the top of the car.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, they at least dropped their snow cone. I mean,
all right, I'm gonna call Blanchard and get the the real advice about what would happen, But if it's one of these things where like, he pays the deductible, no harm, no foul. Like, Seth's got the $500. It would be
rich.
like, and I don't
ask if our rate would increase. Ask if there would be a rate increase if he had an accident, and also ask about what our liability coverage is.
Well, our rate shouldn't increase because I'm not the idiot that doesn't know how to tow the boat.
If you file a claim with your insurance, your rate goes up. It doesn't matter who is driving.
That's not what the general told me.
That isn't what the general told me. The general told me I'd save some time. And I don't know. I'm scared. No, I'm scared.
He's friends with Shaq.
Yeah.
You're not going to raise my rate.
He sucked me in with his cartoon looks and his famous friends.
All right, babe. I'll talk it over with I'll call Bernie and some other.
Why are you calling Bernie? He has
call
nothing
Mo.
to do with it.
Yeah, why are you calling Bernie? Okay.
I don't know.
Bye.
He tells me some good advice sometimes. Anyway. So, but I don't want to.
That didn't go well.
I don't want to be the guy that is like, I'm afraid of lending you my truck because it seems like I'm being scared. Right?
Well, it's okay to be scared.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to protect my
I've done
stuff.
that. I've done that with people before. Like I've had people ask me to borrow. Like I'm real particular about people borrowing my stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm also logical about it. And there have been times when people have said like, "Hey, can I borrow this?" And I'm like, man, no. It's
borrowing a truck's a big ask, dude. I don't know. It's not like.
Well, how far do you? Let's talk about this. How far? Go ahead.
Okay, like there is a thing about like if you lend another person that is at or above your financial status.
Do you have to take that into consideration? So financial status is taken into consideration.
He can rent a damn truck.
Yeah.
He could rent a damn truck.
And then he can have insurance on that.
Actually, they make U-Haul trucks that are meant for just this, right? Like, hey,
Why
I don't have a truck. I can rent the...
Because he's a cheapo and he wants it for free.
He's very cheap,
but then,
which is one of the reasons why he's rich, though.
But then he's letting me drive his Hellcat, which is way more expensive than his truck. You see what I'm saying? Like, so he should be worried about me crashing his Hellcat.
That's what I was saying. The Hellcat is the way more expensive vehicle in play here.
Yeah. And now...
And his insurance is probably crazy because how do you even insure it? I don't even know what insuring a Hellcat would be.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean,
ain't
he
gonna
pays the
be-
top rate.
And do they take into consideration that now it has bloodstains all over it?
Oh, yeah.
That's in the rate, isn't it? Or
I'm
no?
sure,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, like I always heard the old
Well,
thing
the
about
color,
red cars.
yeah,
and stuff. Like,
yeah.
well, okay, red cars are bad. Well, how about a car that looks like it killed people?
Well, I think he's paying sports car rates, right? I mean, it's
I would
it's
imagine.
2-door, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Of course it is.
Like when I switched from an SUV, just something as
sedan
simple.
Hellcat.
I never had
Idiot. Well, that's how I don't even know.
Well, I never had sports cars, but the closest thing I would have would be a GTI, right?
Yeah.
And my rates from going from that GTI to an SUV, were like it was like nothing. I was like, oh my god, I've been bamboozled all this time. Now I've saved all this money. Like,
So what he's doing is he is chicken shaming me here because
going to say something.
because he's saying, hey, I'll let you drive my Hellcat, more expensive car. He's got more expensive insurance, and then if I let him
Well,
load
because
on my
he
truck,
knows the thing on play here is that first of all, the Hellcat will get very limited use. You're not going to a completely
Right.
different city. You're not traveling cross country. You're
Right.
not pulling anything behind it. You're literally where you're going to go. You're going to go around one loop, smoke a couple cigarettes with your wife, and then go to Eden Bar. We all know.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. What would me and Andrea do? You guys can name it. We go to La Fiesta. We come back. I'd bother her for sex, and that'd be it. It'd be like 1 mile.
so he's banking on the fact that I'm not going to take it
Correct.
anywhere.
Yes.
But I do have the opportunity of curbing the rims, like running
I'd
over
have
a
to see
speed
if
bump or
I'd
something.
have to see if they're already curbed.
Also, like
There probably
I
are.
said, like letting your kids
Seth.
eat inside of his car.
Yeah.
You're gonna put the car seats in the back.
You know what was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tell
I'm
for
putting
me?
the car
You have
seats.
to, or that you can't ride with the kids in the car. You know what's the tell for me is that he backed down on the food thing. Because my car isn't even anywhere close to as nice as that car and didn't cost anywhere close to as expensive as that car is. But I will die on that hill. Do not
Yeah.
eat in my car.
I don't know if Seth is that particular about his things.
I don't think he
know?
is, and I think
that's
why it's okay.
And I'm not at all. I mean, I have currently in the back of my truck on both sides wax splatter on the carpet and all over the back from the boys' crayons melting.
Crayons?
Yeah, because they had crayons like we have on the back of both
The
seats.
boys' crowns are melting.
On the back of both seats, there's these like carrier stuff. Like I don't know if Maisie has these, but it's like to put their stuff.
She has one standard issue marine bag. It's literally just got all of her fatigues, and she's got a couple of her weapons in there.
And
No, she doesn't have them.
okay, it has like a
You
place
got a
for
knapsack on the back of
No,
your seat.
No, it's just where you can put
like
like
hand sanitizer. There's like a little area
Tissues.
for the toys, and then it folds down so they can actually put stuff on there. Like it makes it into an airplane seat, basically.
Okay.
That's cool.
You know,
You'd have
because
to tell me about that.
anyway, they had their crayons in there, and they melted all. They dripped all over the floor. So now I have on both sides crayon drippings all over the back seat on the carpet and stuff.
Oh, really? The wax on the carpet really
yeah.
bothered me.
And
How does
it-
EMS get that?
They don't. They can't. They
No,
can't. It's ruined forever.
now. It's ruined.
And-
Like so now, like
It doesn't bother me at all. I'm just like, crayons. And then I just went on about my days because
Yeah,
that's
I
how I'm
can't.
wired. And so it's
Oh,
not
man,
like
that one hurts. The wax in the car carpet. It
Yeah,
hurts.
you,
my
you
head.
can go there. Yeah,
I'm
it'll-
having a response. I'm
I
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
it happen so you guys
Never
can see
buy
it.
a new car then.
Can you guys see? Did my face
I
change
tried that
color or
one into
anything?
the ground.
My chest hurts right now. Like I can feel the anxiety bubbling.
Yeah. It doesn't. It didn't even
That's cool, dude.
raise my heartbeat.
It's cool that you can do that. I think it can make you live longer.
Because it's already done. I was like, obviously, in retrospect, I wish they hadn't have stored their crayons there, or I would have thought like they'll eventually melt in the extreme heat of the summer or something. I just didn't think. I'm like, they're in the back in a pouch, like and they must have had the sun beat down straight through
it
the back
doesn't take
window.
much. It gets so hot in there, dude.
Yeah.
You get your door shut. That place is like 500 degrees.
Anyway, I was just like, that happened. Nothing I could do now, except for like somehow look up on the
Yeah.
internet how to get wax out of carpet.
Yeah, there's probably a way to do it.
Anyway, so
Extreme cold, chisel it away.
So as long as if Seth doesn't crash into a car and there's a huge, you know what I'm saying? Like all the small things he could do aren't going to bother me. So it's not like, he accidentally dinged my door or something
Yeah.
that I'd ever even notice.
Yeah, thank you, Chigardi, in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive, called what you just described, your take on it, as a superpower. I 1,000% agree because
it's not good. It causes me to take poor care of all my stuff.
Allow
It's
me
horrible.
to argue the happy medium between the two of us.
Yeah.
Because on the flip side of that, let's say Maisie's crayons, same thing. Because I like the idea that the travel tray sounds great. Let's say her crayons went into the back of my car. It would ruin my entire weekend. I would obsess from the minute I found out about it into the minute I got it cleaned over it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, there should be an area where I don't leave any crayons or anything that accidents like that could happen in my car.
Well, and I should be on the flip side of that. If something like that were to happen, I should be adult enough to be able to look at it, manage it as an adult, and then move on. Sometimes I can't. It's weird.
Yeah. Again, it's someone should live in the middle of
middle.
personalities because both ways are not good.
Definitely lay in the middle. Let's try this one right here.
Hey, on the Corporate Time episode 819, Sub Talk, y'all were talking about.
Sir, I appreciate the fact that you actually referenced what show. If more people, I'm going to throw that out there. Just going to give this guy a compliment. If you would like to reference, give us what show it was on. That way, if we need to track it down, we can.
Yeah.
Hey, on the Corporate Time episode 819, Sub Talk, y'all were talking about Arby's being one of the most expensive fast food restaurants. Relatably, when I moved down to Florida, one of the most disappointing things was the state of Arby's over there. From the area I was moving from in Central Virginia, our Arby's are run a little different, under a different structure in the company, and they resemble more of a Boston market, where they have full rotisserie chickens and a whole market fresh menu. So when I get down to Florida and I see literally half of their menu has disappeared from me, it was a little saddening to say the least.
Wow.
They're like Boston Market up there?
That's interesting.
I guess
I've never heard of that.
Like have full more of a true carving station style, restaurant.
Is Arby's founded in the north somewhere?
Well,
and
hold
then,
on.
it got degraded.
Look it up, Sam. Let's try to figure it out. Well, the hat is the thing, right? The Arby's hat.
Right.
Oh, is that it was more of like a Texas thing, right? Or like
I don't know. Arby's. Who was first, Arby's or Hardee's?
They are considered a sandwich chain.
Yeah.
Like a Subway. That doesn't. I would just think. I don't know. I guess they don't sell burgers. But I'm just like fast food. I wouldn't say like sandwich chain, but I guess it is mostly sandwiches.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's interesting. I understand what you're saying now, but yeah, I when you said sandwich chain, I go, yeah, of course they are. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like Subway, sandwich chain, fast food.
Or sometimes you get the weird gourmet Taco Bell.
We have one of those.
You know what I'm saying?
Maisie saw one of those yesterday. She goes, "What kind of Taco Bell is that?" I go, "That's a fancy Taco Bell. They got beer there." She goes,
it was founded in Ohio.
Okay.
Actually, out of Ohio.
So did it start like this guy was talking about, and then it got degraded as it franchised out to us trash people in Florida who were just give us the roast beef sandwich.
Well, we got almost everything now. I passed a Culver's the other day here.
They wanted a fast food franchise based on a dish other than hamburgers, and it was two brothers that started their restaurant. They wanted to originally call it Big Tex, but that name was already used by an Akron business. Instead, they chose the name Arby's based on RB, the initials of Raffle Brothers.
Raffle Brothers.
Although often mistaken for roast beef.
Maybe it's where I grew up and there wasn't an Arby's close, but I have never really hung out with anybody who has suggested going to Arby's as a first choice of fast food.
The only reason I
never
did
heard
is we had one on the main stretch into Land on Woodland, and so leaving high school, it was one of our choices for when you would drive to get.
It is all about location.
Yeah.
If it's not near you, you're not going to go.
Yeah.
To
So
it, really.
and the reason, and they had two things going for them. They were close to the high school, and they were different than burgers. And you'd want to go to some place where you could get through. They had Jamocha shakes, and then they had these 2 for $2 RBQ sandwiches, which were just shredded chicken in barbecue sauce on bread.
Yeah, like a barbecue chicken.
But literally the cheapest thing for them to make in the world, and we would get those.
But now that I think about it, there was an Arby's on Kendall Drive that next to Fernando's house, and we never went there. I don't know why. It was just just never want, like, even growing up as
Probably
kids.
because more expensive.
Yeah.
You're going to a dollar menu at McDonald's
'Cause,
rather than,
we go to McDonald's,
$7 meal.
Taco Bell a lot,
Right.
but
You get
never Arby's.
80-cent tacos,
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So in 1984, Victor Posner obtained Arby's via a hostile takeover of its then parent company, Royal Crown.
Oh, I love a good hostile takeover
And at
of a
this
roast
time-
beef restaurant.
At this time, with the $100 million additional funding, Pierce moved to a new, quote, roast town concept, similar in format to Boston Market.
Roast Town.
So that happened in the 80s. That's not originally how it started. It was just roast beef, sandwiches, chips, and drink. That's it. And then in the 80s,
So it
they
was
got
like
a
Beefy
new,
King.
They were, yeah. And now in the 80s, they got obtained by another guy, and he wanted to move that into different markets. But again, it's only in certain parts of the country, not
This ties
everywhere.
in, but look this up, Sam. This ties in. It was on our Friday Free Show list, but it's a dump 'em out topic, so who cares? Look up Gyrotown, USA Airport. I'm flying my plane the other day, and I fly over a tiny airport called Gyrotown, USA. Mm-hmm. And I want you and I...
Hillsborough County.
Yeah, I want you and I to open a Gyrotown in Gyrotown.
I mean, you think there's already a gyro place?
I don't think there is a gyro place there, and that's why I want to take it over. I think they mean gyro in terms of copters.
Yeah.
And I think you and I were missing a huge opportunity to
go.
feed these people some lamb.
Yes.
I mean, how popular? Another item that I rarely hear people talk about. Like,
Gyros.
let's go get some gyros.
Gyros.
No, no.
Gyros.
Most
so
of
good, though.
they are.
They sell them at Arby's.
I know.
They do sell. That's why I tied it. That's why I'm rolling it in, Sam.
It's one of those food items that I'll eat like once
I
every
don't like
couple
lamb.
years.
So good.
I don't like lamb. I just like
Really?
no, I don't. I've eaten a gyro or gyro,
Gyro.
whatever.
Just
I'll
call
call
it
it.
a
I'm just gonna
gyro.
call it a gyro for the sake of our show, not to sound stupid, because I sound like I sound like a Spanish newscaster when I'm like, so is that what the guys are eating a gyro? I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do that. It's a gyro, and I've never liked lamb, and anytime I've had a gyro, it's been like, oh, you can get the lamb gyro or you can just get the beef gyro, and I'll go beef gyro, please. Which, if you're getting that, you're just getting a roast beef sandwich, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
See, that's lame.
On a pita. You know what I'm saying?
I do like
a-
the pita. I like all the feta,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
schmears, the what is that? Tzatziki
The
sauce.
sauces, yeah.
I
I'm
love all
sorry.
that.
Somebody in the chat said
cucumbers.
the first time they ever had sex was in a minivan in the parking lot of the local Arby's.
That sounds about Florida.
That's interesting.
hats off to you.
Yeah, I did the Florida math. I was like, one person had sex in the parking lot of an Arby's that's listening.
Yeah, I don't. Gyro is like I put it in the same category, like because all these people they say that I love a good gyro. I love a good gyro. You'll say things like that. It's at the same time when people say things like, I love a good Chicago dog.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
It's not a mainstay. It's a weird thing.
When's the last time that you've eaten a candy apple?
I never liked him.
I never liked him either.
Yeah.
Are we
tried it
lumping,
as a kid,
Are we
wasn't for
lumping
me.
caramel apple in here too?
I mean,
Caramel apple.
Yeah. Basically, an apple dipped in caramel
Any kind
or
of sweet-
candy.
Old
Yeah.
ladies at my church used to make them.
Yeah.
And
I had
always,
one bite of one my entire life, and that's it.
I had one bite of them my entire life, and that's it too. And that's why we're in business
all of
together.
us. Wait,
Yeah.
Butler, how many candied apples
Wow,
have
this
you
guy
eaten?
probably owned a shop.
I
worked at Uncle Dijon's
I used
Candy
to
Apple
dip
Farm,
apples.
where they used to candy. You love them,
Of
yeah.
course he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Butler,
I'll
you
be
had
putting
one
one in your butt on Friday.
You had one for breakfast. But it's like the whole candy apple. Like, who is? I
Nobody.
don't remember as a kid.
They sell the
eating
kits over at Publix. When you go down the fruit aisle,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
sell those little bags, and it says like candy apple mix, and you mix it. It's just sugar, right? You melt it and you dip it in there,
Yeah.
and you can make your own if you want to. Nobody likes those.
I can't believe it's about to be September.
You better get your. What are
Wake
you
me up
doing?
when it
What are you doing
ends.
for Halloween costumes?
I walked into Lowe's and I'm like, there's the giant blow up
Yep,
witch, and I'm
yeah.
like, oh my
It's all
god,
out there,
it's
baby.
already out, and this was like a week ago. Like they put
Yeah.
that out in the end of August.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
What day is this show coming out?
Wednesday, September
Wednesday.
1st.
Oh, okay, perfect. I've got a hot take. Here's my hot take for Wednesday, September 1st. If this year you decided you want to pony up and get the 12-foot skeleton, sorry, you missed the boat. It was only cool last year. This year, everybody's got them. So it's not cool anymore. In fact, looks stupid.
And also,
It was only cool last year. There's
Well-
my hot take.
we'll bitch about this, but don't let the timer go off in the daytime so they just sit there like blankets on your front
Oh,
yard.
I approve that. I like that.
No,
I think
no.
they look scarier during the daytime.
Just leave it leave it on the entire time that you have them up so they're always
a lot
inflated.
of electricity, man.
It's not that. No, it's not. It's not that much electricity to run the small fan in the witch or the skeleton.
I want them so they don't
Was
have
it-
fans. I want them completely quiet.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to blow them up.
No, that's what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
I want
Yeah, yeah.
or like I want them to make the fan technology better or something.
They should. I mean, why don't they make them so you just inflate them once?
It's a great question.
Is it because?
Well, I mean, like temperature change is going to change the gas inside there. You know, if you pump it up one way,
Yeah,
and
it
it heats.
deflates.
You know, that's just
Oh, that
science.
happens to pool equipment or like pool floats where
Yeah.
if you leave a pool float out and you overinflated it, the heat will expand it, and then at night it'll get all baggy.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So that will happen to the.
So maybe that's why.
Maybe.
My butt looks like a baggy pool float.
Ew.
It does.
Bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And in the fish tank today, sir, we have a sea carrot.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's bright orange, and it looks like, I think most fishermen would call it coral. I have no idea what it is. It looks like. Can we see it if I put it up on the? We're live on Twitch right now. Twitch.tv
Yeah.
I think it's
slash
just off camera.
Yeah.
Tom and
check.
Dan Live. Twitch.tv
Yep.
slash Tom and Dan Live. You can see everything, but I don't think you can see our sea carrot.
Oh, yeah.
Can I reach in there and just move it? And just,
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
about that.
glued to the fake rock.
It
Glued.
appears
Yeah.
that the professional fishermen used like polydent.
Oh.
Oh, like for dentures?
I think they use
Yeah.
polydent, and he puts a polydent on there, and he puts a carrot on top of it, and he's like,
Yeah.
a masterpiece. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and you can watch us live Monday through Friday. I am billing us as Orlando's strongest stream.
All right.
Because, the kids don't call it video, and they don't call
No.
it, hey, watch us on the video. No. We're streamers, man.
Stream us, bro.
We're streamers, dude. You can stream us all day long, bro.
So we get a billboard and just promote the Twitch
Yes.
stream. Yeah. I like that.
yeah,
I like
just-
that.
But kids don't drive anymore.
No,
We're not
no,
gonna
no,
see
no.
it.
Well,
You'd
I'm
just
gonna
be confusing a bunch of old ladies.
old right. Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
fun
"What
too.
is that?"
Confusing
Yeah.
old ladies is fun too. Sometimes
yeah.
I just lie to old people that are being genuinely nice to me, and I just make up tales and stories of things that are going wrong in my life, just so they'll give me sympathy. It's like my form of regular people stolen valor. Do you understand what I do, right?
Yeah,
They'll say,
yeah.
like, how's your day going? I'm like, oh, well, my wife, the cancer. And then they're, oh, I'm so sorry. That just feels good.
Yeah.
It just feels good to have people care about you.
Let's do some weird jobs.
Oh, God, we're doing that thing? All right, here we go. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you go to streamlineflorida.com, on their website, you'll see Brian Zeimel's number. You talk to anybody from that team about a refi, about a mortgage. They're great. They've done hundreds of BDM's mortgages and refis. Me and Daniel, everybody we know. My buddy just did through Streamline. They're great.
Yeah, I had a listener hit me up and say that Brian actually had stashed his client info, and because he wasn't ready to refi, and then called him up and said, like, it's time. It's been long enough. I guess you have to wait a certain period of time before you're not required to have a certain amount of insurance or different little loopholes and things.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know all about it. Get a hold of Brian and his team, and they'll take great care of you.
Yep. We get texts from Brian all the time about BDMs that personally text Brian and thank him. And
it's cool.
Hey, thanks for,
Oh, he loves it when you use the finger emojis.
Yeah,
Keep doing that. He
yeah.
loves that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
He loves it.
So on the line with us for a weird job, Concrete Mike is here. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing wonderful. How's everybody doing today?
Great, man. Great. Sorry that we had to stop you from, because I know that when you work, you work.
Oh, yeah. I was about to mention that.
I kind of feel stupid wasting his time right now.
So Concrete Mike.
I'm letting the jackhammer cool off right now. It got hot. I've had it run for an hour and a half.
I know you're plowing someone's wife. He's letting the I'm going to use that with my wife. She's going to be like, "Are you ready for round 2?" I'm going to let the jackhammer cool off a little bit. Come on, got to get a Gatorade.
Yeah. Gotta hydrate.
This guy, you're the best, Mike.
So Mike was over my house because yesterday I met him after work.
What?
Because he's doing a little
didn't
side
know
job.
Side job.
Yeah, he does concrete
That means
work,
he's
side
either
job.
plowing or killing.
And give me a quote for a driveway. And so a couple things. One,
Why does your driveway need a coat?
quote.
You gotta code it.
So one thing is, and I'm gonna start doing this because real men do this. When he pulled up, he got out of his car, left it running.
Yes!
You're damn right.
You can leave the door open too sometimes.
Yeah.
That's an advanced move.
Left his car running, or his truck.
He's gotta keep that AC going.
He's not going to be there long, man.
Yeah. I mean, we were there for a while, but
It also
small
keeps
talking.
a stupid long talker like you, and you cut it short.
It keeps.
I'm gonna do that with you now. I'm gonna like act like I'm trying to jump out a window when you start telling me stories.
Yeah, real men keep their truck running, and I
Yes.
remember this from like my dad would keep his truck running. Like there's no reason to turn it off. First, of course not. We're in Florida. Keep the AC on.
Yeah.
Keep that cool.
That's right.
So and why turn it off? I turn off my truck all the time, even if I'm like running inside the house.
God.
I turn it off.
You back your truck out to get the mail, and then drive it back into the garage.
And second is Mike, and he's not going to talk about his concrete job for this weird job. I don't know. He told me.
Yeah, I don't know what.
hint.
I know he's going in a different direction, but I don't know what job.
But he told me, he's like, oh man, tomorrow. He's like, I'll call you in the break. He's like, I'm putting. Basically, he's redoing some concrete work where they had to put these, and he'll explain it, but run these giant steel.
I mean, you're doing a great job of explaining it.
Mike,
I can
tell me
only
what
imagine how good Mike's will be.
Mike, tell me what you told me yesterday, because the anxiety that I feel like a normal person would face doing what Mike's doing today is insane.
Yeah, what are you doing?
A newer form of slab foundations is what they call post-tension, which is a cable, a high-tension steel cable that is pulled through 33,000 pounds of force after the concrete's cured. And the framers went in and broke like 7 of them. And I'm having to chip under the foundation, underneath the walls, expose the cable around other live cables that they broke to make a new connection and feed new cables into the building and re-stress them because they're underneath walls holding a 4-story building.
Oh, man.
Wait, is this a dangerous job?
Sounds like it.
Mike,
It is the most dangerous part of my job that I do.
Mike said you gotta be careful not to hit the cables that have been broken, because if you break one of those, they're under 33,000 pounds of tension and they'll explode like
where they whip you in half like Ghost Ship?
10,000 shotguns. Like, Mike, what would happen if you hit one of the cables that were under 33,000 pounds of tension?
For one, it sounds like a shotgun going off when they break. They can tear up through the slab. Chunks of concrete can fly up with it when they break. There's been people that have lost fingers and stuff doing this. So you got to be real careful, man.
Oh, my God.
Got to be on your game.
So Mike is literally jackhammering through concrete and trying not to hit a 33,000-pound tension cable.
God.
And to repair
I can't even eat a club sandwich without a toothpick in it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Anyway.
ouchie.
That's what Mike's doing today.
Wow, and that's not even why he called.
Yeah. So
It's an all week process on these 7 cables. It's going to be all week.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, obviously, we trust you. We know you know what you're doing, but I mean, I still send you positive energy and thoughts, man, because I want you to be safe because I love you.
But, Mike, this is why
Appreciate that.
you don't suffer with anxiety, right, Mike? Because you go through such a hard, like not only physical hard day labor, but mental and the stress of think about it. How many times do you come close to dying a day? Right?
Are you talking to me? Well, I don't know, Tom. I got on Crocs, so you ask yourself.
Or your decisions that you make.
It all depends on your perspective on that, though, because, I mean, I make a right call on something, I don't die. So, technically I could almost die every single day.
No, I know.
It's all in how you...
But that's what I'm saying keeps you from having the daily anxiety that we all feel because...
You don't need to create your own anxiety is what Tom's saying. I mean, you already have enough that's real, and then you just manage that, and you're good to go.
So when our bosses email us or we forget to, minuscule small things that give us
dumb
daily...
ass.
Yeah. Mike doesn't experience because... He literally could have died by hammering the wrong cable.
Correct.
And that was enough chemical exposure and adrenaline that even you out the rest of the time. Anyway, so, Mike, let's talk about your weird job. And this is from back in the day, right?
Yes, sir. It was when I was 17 years old. I was sitting at home with my buddy playing Nintendo, doing bong rips. I get a knock on my door. It's this dude. Starts throwing off a sales pitch about a contest that he's in, blah, 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 this and that, I need you to help me sponsor so I can win. I said, all right, what do I got to do? Oh, just buy these magazines. I said, dude, I'm broke. I ain't got this, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, if you're broke, you can come with me. And you can do this when we go all over the place. And so I listened to him for a few.
We're going to be big. Yeah, I like it.
So literally that same day, I loaded up a duffel bag, went and met with him at the hotel they were all staying at, met their bosses, who was an old hippie couple with traveling around with their kids. They had a fleet of vehicles, vans and Suburbans and stuff like that, a few cars.
Hold on, Mike.
These are travelers. These are travelers, right? Sounds like, well, you can't say
they were
gypsy
traveling
anymore.
gypsy magazine people.
Well, hold on, you got to. Okay, Mike, whatever.
You were
sorry.
You were 17 years old, so you just literally someone came to your door and was like, "Hey, kid, you want to make some money? You follow me." Yeah. And you packed your bag.
I was living in the projects after our house burnt down. You remember that voicemail about the house burning down?
I remember that story.
After that, we ended up living in government housing in projects, and it was terrible. So I wanted out.
I still want to write your
book. My opportunity.
So did you have parents, Mike? Like, did your parents say, like, good luck?
My mom and dad separated when I was 3. My mom gave me up to my dad, and then coincidentally enough, I was living with my mom again later on. But my mom wasn't really up for Mother of the Year award ever. So I had free run at 14, 15 years old. I was just doing my own thing.
Tom had that too, but he wasn't going to put it to good use. He was going to bleach his hair and try to put his fingers places.
My God, the grit that Mike had so early that that's why like.
I mean, just the statement. My mom gave me up to my dad. I lived with her later, coincidentally. We'll get to that. Yeah.
And the fact that you just could pack a bag and just leave your house at under 18.
Not scared at all.
Or with nobody even care. Like, did you tell your mom, like, hey, I'm
going to my magazine job?
Yeah, I told her. I was like, I'm out. I'll be back when I'm back. And I was on the road. I was on the road for 7 months with these people.
I'm sorry. What do you mean by these people?
Mike, I'm sorry to laugh at that, but that just
magazines.
That sounds insane.
So now this is what year is this, Mike?
Hey, let's send our kids out with the gypsies for 7
I don't know. 17 years old. I was born in 76. So what's that? 86, 94.
94. I'm graduating from high school. You're out with the gypsies for a year.
This early 90s.
Anyway.
No way of, like, obviously, this is way pre-cell phone, pre-even collect cards, so you're not even calling home.
But it's not pre-Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which is
post-Chronic.
Phone calls are either made from the hotel or from a payphone.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Beepers are starting to roll out.
I mean, do you understand the current day generation of like a 17-year-old? Like, their parents won't even. They'll track their cell phone to see if they're at the sleepover. They would. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sleepover. They're not allowed at a sleepover. Are you crazy?
Hell, your wife still does that to you, Tom.
That's true.
I know.
And that's called a microphone made out of concrete drop.
Yeah. So Mike, these people were just traveling like hippies that would sell magazine subscriptions, but were they even subscriptions? Like, was there an actual thing, or was it all a scam?
I don't know if anybody ever got their magazines, to be honest. I do not know.
Yeah, that's not your business.
Yeah, she's right. That's not your business. That's
It
for
was
the
a-
hippies.
It was
did
a
your job.
commission. It was a commission-based thing. So the more we sold, the more we got for a percentage off whatever subscriptions we sold.
Well,
So it was good. You could go out for half a day. They'd drop you off in random neighborhoods. So there'd be like a car handler that drive the van, and we'd all load up in one van and then fill it up and drop off different neighborhoods, kind of like Tom's or wherever, all different areas,
Yeah.
and knock doors all day. And when you got done, if you sold enough and you wanted to just go back, you could go back to the hotel and hang out, go do whatever, or you could stay out, keep hustling, and make money.
Did you have a girlfriend where you maybe...
Was it a bunch of teens and runaways and stuff?
I would say the average age was probably 24, but it was a range between my age, and we had some people that were 35. There was hippies,
Ew.
and there was felons.
Okay.
People on the road.
Right.
There was
Can't get any other jobs.
there was
Hippies
some
and
bad people.
felons.
There was some bad people, and then the rest of us sat back and spoke
Well,
weed
there were
and hung out.
there were the bad people, and then there were the people that the bad people beat up and intimidated.
I like how your mom didn't care that you're traveling with a bunch of hippies and felons across the country. Who knows where? Like,
Do you remember any of these characters by chance, Mike? Like, were they like? Do you still keep in contact with any of these travelers?
No, actually, one of them I would have. She was from my home state of New York. We picked her up in Buffalo. Her name was Tina, and sadly enough, she had to leave our group when we were in Illinois. I was driving one of the Suburbans, and I started running low on fuel. And we're out in corn country, so I start flashing the guy ahead of me to let him know, hey, next stop, we got to get off. I need fuel. So while he runs back to my truck and starts talking with me, this girl Tina got out of his vehicle, and she had to pee. She went and squatted down in front of his truck, and nobody knew it. It was middle of the night. Everybody's sleeping. So this guy gets back in his truck, starts driving, run her over, and had her pinned under the back axle in a fully loaded Suburban.
Watch your pee.
Oh, my God.
It broke her back. It crushed her ribs. She was all tore up.
I saw this on Righteous Gemstones. This is the parking lot scene from Righteous
Yeah,
Gemstones.
it is.
Oh my
I
God!
have seen this.
She
It took
would.
5 of us to
just had
pick
to
up the back of the
pee.
Suburban and push it forward to get it off of her.
Oh, hysteria strength. You had
Oh well, no, five
Five of us got on the
young
back bumper.
Concrete Mike's as strong as hell.
Anyhow, so we got that off of her. Somebody hauled ass down the road because, again, no cell phones. Can't call 911. Nobody knows what happened. So dude flies down the road, gets to the next gas station, calls 911. They come get us. So we didn't see her for about 6 months or so. She came back.
She came back
right
after
before I was. It was
Good-
you know,
good money.
well, her boyfriend was still on the road with us. This dude Tim, and she came back, and then he went with her, and they went back to go live in his hometown in Ohio. About 15 years later, I'm watching real TV, true crimes, whatever, one of them things, and it's a murder story about this girl that got murdered, and it ended up being him. He killed her, bludgeoned her, gutted her, everything through her skull and her fingers and her teeth into a lake up there. And nobody knew what had happened. And the only way they tracked it down was through DNA from their child, something with a match, and it was weird.
I'm gonna guess that was one of the felons, not the hippies.
Oh my
Well,
God!
he was pretty cool. I couldn't believe it when I seen it. I was stunned.
I ate ribs with this
The
dude.
dude was cool. His dude's name was Tim, and I remember when I
Man.
seen the picture on the TV of him, I'm like, oh my God! I'm like,
That was a.
I couldn't believe it.
Okay,
Oh
we're
my
not as.
God.
Okay,
Wait
Mike,
a second. I need to know
Mike.
what episode this
Oh
is.
my God!
Mike, we're not as real as you. You need to flash your lights at us before you make those turns. You gotta let us know.
Yeah.
You gotta let us know when you're gonna cut.
Oh,
Mike's
Tina got a
fingers.
rough go,
Yeah,
man.
he got her fingers off.
Mike, I had a smoothie this morning. And I was like,
I
oh,
had
it
a
stings
gun
my
in-
teeth. They're cold.
I learned how to put my
I
daughter's
had
hair
a gun
into a
put to my
bun.
face.
You had a gun
I
put
had
to
a
your
gun put to my
face.
face in a Taco Bell parking lot in Philly. We were traveling through Philly for the week, and I was trying to cop a dime bag, And I asked somebody, where I could score a dime bag. They said, I had a gun in my forehead. Thought I was a cop. I'm like, what do you think this is, 21 Jump Street? I'm like, dude, I'm 17 years old.
So he accused you of being a narc, like a cop, like an undercover
I
cop.
thought I was a narc. He thought I was a narc or something, trying to set him up in the Taco Bell parking lot.
I like how he thought you were gonna cop. You were a cop, so he was gonna kill you. Like, you kill a cop.
I've never understood that move.
yeah, like that's so.
I've never understood why when you have the cop, right, in any of these dumb movies or anything, when they have the cop, they're like, well, he's a cop, we have to kill him. I'd be like, well, why don't you just, how about this? How about you start with saying, hey, cop, we're going to let you go, just don't say anything. I'd start there and work my way.
Yeah, like you're definitely going to the electric chair.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. Like if you don't do anything, you do some time. I don't know if it's your first offense or what, it's like you can figure it out after that. But once you pull the gun out, you're going to the electric chair.
That's bad.
Anyway, so Mike,
did you get your weed?
Hold on.
No.
So I'm curious to like how many subscriptions you could actually sell. Like this is the early 90s. Maybe this was before like everybody would just immediately say no and get the hell off my property, like from people going door to door. Like
people did used to love magazines,
what
dude.
what kind of magazines?
Oh, it was all of them. Sports Illustrated, Better Homes and Gardens, all that nonsense, man.
All of your big
all
ones.
the regular stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we hit college towns most of the time because most of the young kids are there. Mommy and daddy's credit cards. They just put it on mom and dad's credit card. Didn't care. We did a lot of sales in areas like that. I've been trespassed from 3 different universities. I got kicked out of Northern Illinois University, Purdue, and West Virginia, the Mountaineers.
Wow.
So, Mike,
out
Just
to
for
the
soliciting, or
Mountaineers.
did you do something?
Well, you get up into the dorms, and you get popped by an RA. You get up into the dorms, and you're not supposed to be in there. And we'd start bouncing doors in there because there was a high population of kids, and you did a lot of quick sales, get in and get out.
So, Mike, what was your sales pitch? Because obviously...
Oh, you're going to love this.
Yes.
You're going to love the way you look.
All right. My whole thing was I was in a communications contest, and part of the contest was to go out and meet people and get better with my speaking and blah, blah, blah. And I said, eventually, I'm going to go to college, and I want to be a radio DJ, and one day you're going to get up to go to work in the morning, turn on your radio, and you're going to hear me.
Yeah.
No.
That's actually true. I mean, this is like,
It came true.
It did become true.
Yeah. By the way, Mike, first it doesn't pay, and concrete work is way more lucrative. But
I look
I
at
would
concrete
listen.
Easier, though.
I would listen
It
to
is easier.
like a daily radio, just back to terrestrial
yeah.
radio,
Yeah.
a talking with Mike.
Yeah.
Jackhammer Radio.
Oh, and having a beer with Mike.
Write
Write that down.
Write
That was already a show.
Oh!
Yeah.
Don't tell me they had a Richard Simmons impersonator named Dick Simmons.
He let his LLC lapse.
Yeah, he did. Let's scoop that up.
I did try to reach out to him.
Backwards.
Yeah.
We
Anyway,
got Fat Tom having a beer with Mike.
so you would tell people you wanted to be a radio star. How would you work in like getting the magazines? Like, would you be like, want some Sports Illustrated?
Here's where you go to them and say, so can you help sponsor me in this contest so I can win? And they said, sure, how do I sponsor you? And then you pull out the packet with the magazine list and you say, here's how you sponsor me. And you open it up, and everybody reads at some point or other. There's always something to do. Everybody needs something to read. And you just, hand them that. They start looking through it. Everybody would always find something they're interested in.
Except Tom.
Not,
if you had found
for,
Tom. Everybody
or
needs something to read.
You get a gift for Dad, Hot Rod Magazine, better Guns and Ammo, stuff like that. Sports Illustrated, you can always get them as a gift. You don't have to want to read the magazine yourself.
How about adult magazines like Playboy, Penthouse? Maybe
basically just talk them into buying.
Maybe even an Easy Rider, because they had some topless fold-outs.
Yeah, they didn't have none of those. It was all PG.
Though there's no way these people would actually get the magazine, right? I mean, like, you would just go town to town
Steal
and
their money and then go.
steal
Leave.
their credit card.
I can tell you right now, the people that paid cash never got a magazine for sure.
Why would the people that pay credit card get the magazine? You just
Proof of purchase?
I mean, the owner or
the hippie's got to run the card.
the
Right?
head hippie would just run the card and steal the money. There would be no
Buy
transaction.
more tapestries.
Yeah. So, Mike, how would you live? Like, so you go in the van, and the head hippie was it a creepo? Was there any
Did he have a long beard? I'm picturing Jerry Garcia.
Yeah,
For,
I imagine there had to
One
be
dude-
at least some molestation.
Oh.
There was one dude that was real weird. He was a squirrely fella from Paducah, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
And he was a weirdo. I never liked that guy. He looked like that creeper, definitely. Like he should have just been driving a white van with no windows.
All right.
Yeah. F
Because
that guy.
I imagine like it's the early '90s. You're getting some younger runaways or homeless girls to do this too, and there's probably
Whoa, dude,
some.
what are you doing?
Well, no. I'm just saying that's how these
Desperate people, yeah.
That's who gets human trafficked, and that's who gets screwed the most is people that are homeless and desperate.
What about my magazine?
And then these people pick them up for either Colts or these type of deals, and then they get horribly abused. Was there any of that, Mike, or was it basically just a bunch of felons?
There was a bunch of sex happening. It was a pretty solid mix of girls and guys. Some of them had hooked up and had their own, relationships, but the rest of us were just bang crazy out there.
Okay. So,
even the old hippie lady?
She was there with her husband and her kids, the old hippie lady. So they did their own thing. So her name was Dawn. Dawn and the other guy's name I think was Mike. I can't remember.
Oh, I wanted you to be like, her name is Dawn and my name is Sunset.
So did they pay you at the end of the day, Mike? Like, did you ever see that that one documentary about Lady in the Dale? And about how that person that ran that whole operation started doing the flowers at the side of the road and basically hired a bunch of homeless people and would pick them up in buses, drop them off on the side of the road, to sell flowers, and at the end of the day would pay them their cut of whatever they sold, and that's what started this whole homeless people selling flowers business, and then it started with
it's her fault.
No. She started with flowers. This has always gone on, and so this is kind of the same thing where you'd pick up a bunch of felons and runaways and people that were just
why don't we do that? Tom and Dan Street Team.
I mean, it was the people.
Everybody got a good street team, right? Is that still a thing? Street teams?
So how would they
Tom
pay
and Dan
you?
Street Team.
Oh, we'd go back to the hotel, and the two older ones, they never went out to the field. They just made their money off all of us.
Paid the dues.
And they organized the hotels, the travel, this and that. You know what I mean? They maintained the vehicles.
Yeah.
But we'd go back in at the end and hand them all of our invoices, and they'd go through and okay, boom, boom, boom. You get $8 for this one, $10 for this, whatever, and count out your cash and hand you. They had wads of cash. I don't even know how much money they had.
This sounds intriguing to me. Like I would like to do this. Now follow me, Tom. I would like to do this, but I don't feel like physically I'm in the shape to do this because I would be good at the organization, the upkeep of the vehicles, organizing travel, organizing hotel. I'd be really good at it. I'd be kind to everybody. I'd pay everybody on time. But the thing you got to worry about, and the thing that I'm surprised didn't happen, is that there was some sort of strange mutiny where some of the felons said, well, we can kill both of these hippies, and this will be our operation. We can take this thing over, right? I would always be looking over my shoulder afraid that somebody's going to try and get me.
Yeah, I guess but then the people aren't good enough to organize everything.
Yeah, but he's saying wads of cash. I mean,
Yeah,
you walk around with wads of cash, you're a mark.
Yeah. So, Mike,
Seth Petrozelli.
how did you how much money did you make, and how did you end up leaving the operation? Like, why'd you stay with them 7 months? What was your cue to get the hell out of there? How did that end?
I made it all the way to Salt Lake City, Utah from New York. So we've traveled around a lot, and it wasn't that I really wanted to leave, but my grandma was dying, and I wanted to go back and get back home and see her one more time while she was still on this planet.
Oh, wow.
And
what a touching reason to leave the travelers.
How much money did you make, Mike?
I was making about 100 to 150 a day. Once I had over $100, I didn't care about being out there no more. I wanted to go have some fun, relax, do whatever, you know what I mean, spend my money. All I had to do was pay for food. That was it. So, I mean, the rest of the money was my money.
And that's when Whoppers were like 99 cents. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself in this time. Like, you get a 99-cent Whopper, the rest of your money's for beer, and you're banging these traveling girls.
Dude, Wednesday, McDonald's would do 29-cent hamburgers Wednesdays.
This man knows.
That was 97.
Boy, we are trash.
Yeah, I think that was back when you could still get 20-cent tacos from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
There was a sweet spot where burgers,
$100
tacos,
a day,
and Whoppers were just dialed in cheap, man.
Dude, $100 a day in '96 is not bad money.
Yeah.
And the best part was when I got done, and whenever you were decided you just wanted to go back, you won't do it no more. These two people, Dawn and this other guy, they would buy you a Greyhound ticket to get you home. You didn't even have to pay for your own way to go home.
That's awesome.
So I sat 3 days on a Greyhound to go back to Albany, New York.
But you got to see Mama, right?
That's a whole nother. That 3 days on that Greyhound's a whole other story. That's a whole other phone call.
We got to do a chatting with the masters here.
Why don't we just set it up? Okay, you were looking for something. We have a show coming up that we're trying to plan for.
Before.
No, I know, but we were like, I don't know. We don't want about let's try to do it, man.
Listen to all these stories.
And we'll go to him. We'll go to him so it has like depth, and I'll set it all up. I'll get the mics and everything. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, we got to talk to you, Mike.
Let's go to Hourglass Brewing, beer with Mike.
Yeah.
Dude,
chatting
we call
with the
it having a beer with Mike. It was your idea.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. There's no way
Wasn't having a beer with Mike already a TV show?
Yeah. That's the whole joke, Mike. That's the whole joke.
We got multiple plans. We go to any of our different...
I wasn't sure if he... Well, I wanted to make sure he realized it. I wanted to make sure Tom was aware of that.
No, Tom knows.
We're the China factory of Orlando. We'll just steal anybody. And
we take anybody's likeness, put it on the side of the cake.
Yeah, we'll just do it. And figure that you're too lazy or it doesn't matter anymore to go after
Come at us, bro. We'll back down real fast.
Yeah. And then no harm, no foul, right?
Exactly.
We'll just stop doing it.
We do a come at us, bro, but it's like, come at us, bro, because we'll stop.
Yeah. All right, Mike. So what's the rest of your day like? I'm curious because I'm...
Today or...
Today,
Trying not to die in this heat like I do every summer in August, and get back on that jackhammer and finish exposing the rest of these cables so I can start feeding the new ones in.
Mike,
always exposing cable.
See, I feel like, Mike, like you always wanted to be a radio personality, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. I used to sit back kind of like Dan did. Me and my cousin, we used to sit back and, like, make our own, record the song. You have to wait for the song to start on the radio, hit record, and then in the middle of it, we jump in and act like we're the DJs. You just heard, Pantera, Voters Play Power, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, talk to the post.
But, Mike, I feel like if you ever got, and you could definitely do it.
He's good at it.
You got the talent. You got more talent.
You're better than most radio people are at radio.
Yeah. Most all that I know. But the problem is, Mike, I feel like if you got some job where you went in every day in the AC and you sat down and you talked.
It kills Mike.
And then you had the lunch like us, and then you did some emails, and then you go home, you do a tight 3.5 hour workday.
It's like Roy Kent. You could be good at it, but is it what you were born to do?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I feel like it's like trapping a stallion, like
a dust-covered stallion.
Yeah, like you're fencing in a stallion, and stallions were made to run free.
Yes.
And you put Mike in a cage and in the AC and not out working hard every day.
You're killing independent Mike.
Then you're gonna take Mike's spirit away, which gives him all his
like
power.
Killer whales at SeaWorld, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's killing the trainer.
Yeah, your fins down. You're depressed every day. I feel like what keeps Mike's spirit is his insane hard work every day. That the real man.
I think he knows Mike, tell me if this is accurate. I think the one thing that I know about you is at the end of the day, you like laying your head on the pillow knowing that you actually made a difference and you worked your ass off, right? Like you get off on that, right? Like you like to get stuff done.
Yeah, hard work is good living, and it's a good feeling.
I agree.
I earn everything I got. I work hard for everything I have.
And there is a feeling that cannot be duplicated by anything, including sex or drugs, that when you accomplish something, there is a feeling you get.
Yeah. It's a bad feeling not working hard and getting too much. That's what I got right now.
Yeah.
Like, I barely work hard at all, and it's just so much. I got so much. I feel like I need to waste it.
Bernie called me today and said, you have to spend money. You have too much.
And we're barely doing it. We started pulling back work.
Yeah, I was like, I stopped working. What do I do? What do I do when money is just like, what do I do when it's just making money?
The other day, like, we started leaving here at 1:30. We're like, oh, God, it's been a long day. Call it early.
I get here at 11. I leave at 1:30.
Yeah. But
And,
Mike,
and half of that time is lunch.
but we're so weak, Mike. Like you could come in and easily push us down and have sex with our
You
wives.
wouldn't need to do that. Just look at me. I'll follow the floor.
Yeah. Like yesterday, Mike, when you were standing in my front yard, you could have pushed me down in the roots easily.
Oh, yeah.
And then taken my wife, and I mean, she would not even be
My hero.
And I mean, what you would give to her, I mean, she'd
man.
never experienced before. Playing
My
soccer.
God.
I mean,
Oh, my God.
just ridiculous. I mean, pounded.
Jeez.
I mean,
The jackhammer?
Yeah. Like to the point where it would change her perspective.
It'd be like doing ayahuasca. Like the next
She'd be
day
a different
she comes
person.
in, she'd be like, I have a completely different
I couldn't
personality
even-
after I've done Mike.
Yeah. I'm, I'm
Tom, your wife is too nice of a person. Your
Yeah,
wife
but
is too nice of a person. I
but I have
wouldn't
a
want to
feeling
ruin her like that.
No,
No.
come on. Yeah. She need. I mean, she
needs it.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, maybe.
She needs you to turn around.
Yeah. Keep her from,
Yeah.
Yeah. She came out, crowed a little, then she went back in.
What are you guys planning on doing? I hope you're not planning on killing my trees.
Yeah. She came out.
He's laughing. Did I get it?
Oh, yeah. And then Mike is so polite. He's like a Southern real man
Ma'am,
gentleman.
I assure you.
Yeah. He assured her, yeah. But she don't trust me. Then she side-eyed me. And she's like,
This is one of your friends. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Where's Daniel? He's an idiot too.
Yeah.
Normally he's sniffing around here, little potato man.
But when Mike speaks, he speaks in like,
Ma'am,
whatever he says, I believe. He's like, oh, no.
confident, yeah.
As long as the root's not as big as your leg, he's like, I've cut through roots bigger than this. And then, it's like, he's right. I have no idea if he's right, but he talks so confident.
She did say she wants to get an arborist. She did say she wants to get an arborist out there for his opinion too, professionally.
I don't even know
An
what
arborist? Where do you hire an arborist?
Arborist? What's that?
That's
Arby's.
Chungus?
Is that,
Chungus out here.
is that our friend? Is that Izzy? Who eats at Arby's every
That's
day?
true.
Come on
We can
here.
get Izzy out there.
Hey, Izzy, look at these roots. Good.
These are big trees.
Mike, I don't want to take you from your job too long.
Good luck
because,
today, buddy. We'll be thinking about you. Just stay safe, okay?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I've been sitting in my AC in my truck too long. I got to get back out in the heat again.
Yeah. You don't want to lose any of those wrinkles you got in those leather arms.
Working in this heat does make me appreciate air conditioning and walk-in beer coolers at stores so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That Wawa beer
Nothing
cooler
like
is
walking
cold.
in. Nothing like walking into you walk into that Wawa beer cooler at the end of the day to grab a 4-pack of Tall Boys. I'll just stand in there for like
Wait
2
a minute.
minutes, just staring at the beer
Mike.
cooling off.
Mike, that's my favorite pack of beers. Are you a 4-pack man? I love a 4-pack.
this is.
Well, it's good for a drive home. I mean, I got to usually an hour and a half drive. So,
I don't do that
I can
part,
knock
but
them
okay.
back and then get home.
This is the difference between me and Mike. I go into there. I'm like, oh God, it's in the beer cooler. I'm too cold. And then I'm like, I have to run in there, grab my White
can you
Claw.
go get my...
I have to get
Need my sweater to go into the beer cooler.
Get the lady behind the counter. I'm like, can you go in there?
have a sweatshirt I can borrow? Jesus, man.
Mike, hey, real quick.
Hey, Mike! Hey!
So, how can people contact you if they want to get a driveway or decide concrete work? I feel like
Or
people
maybe their wife needs a good thrashing.
people email me like, how do I get a hold of Concrete Mike? I don't even know. And then I'm like, he's on the BDM page, but it's a different name.
Just go in there, put the frog emoji, he'll show up.
Yeah, how do people even email you? You have an email?
Yeah, I got an email.
What's it to you?
jr.nation@gmail.com.
Hold on.
Gator Nation?
Ding Dong Nation.
Junior Nation. I'm a NASCAR fan.
No.
Yeah! There it is.
Number 8.
Oh, Mike at juniornation.com.
Yeah, Junior Nation.
Wait a minute.
Wait. This might come as a surprise to you guys, but I am the president of the Dale Jr. fan
Street
club,
team.
and he's one of my best friends.
God, I love Mike.
My buddy was watching NASCAR this weekend.
I watched NASCAR.
There's
this
a lot of
weekend.
BDMs out there.
It was
Dude,
in
it was
Daytona,
great.
yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you watch the ending of the race? It was fantastic.
I don't
Little
know.
reckless, but it was fun.
But the top 10 racers I don't recognize as much because I've been out of the game for so long. I'm like, I don't know the names. Anyway. Sorry, Mike.
Mike, sorry. We love you,
Wasting his
buddy.
time.
All right, man. It's all right.
All right.
I love y'all too. Have a good day, man. I got to go.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
all right,
Take
okay.
it easy, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, why'd you do that?
I don't. I didn't do anything. Mike, I can sit there
He's
and talk to
awesome.
Mike. I remember when He was over my house cutting the trench for the island with his concrete saw.
I love people that know how to do, like, just capable people. He's so capable.
Yeah,
He can do anything.
I think he gave me a job because he felt bad. Like, he knew I wanted to help him out and not be the real man cockled that I tell you about, where you just stand and watch a real man.
Well, you shouldn't do that. You put yourself through that. You're supposed to leave or go in another room or do
Right.
something
No,
that
no,
you can
do their
do.
business.
Well, no, when it's your buddy helping you out.
No, this is chirping.
No,
Yeah.
no, Mike.
You're
no,
a work chirp.
No, you're wrong about this. And you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, this is the breaks the show up because this MF has been chirping at me and saying I'm chirping. This guy stands over people that do work at his house and he chirps.
No, if you have a real man over your house that's your buddy that's doing a job, he wants you to chirp at them.
No.
Because
I need proof.
Mike
for
wants to get back
entertainment.
to his AC.
No,
It sounds a lot like me saying that the old teens, rather, not young teens, or young old teens or mid-teens, they like to be chirped at Publix. I say that, and you say I'm wrong.
The circumstance is
I'm
different.
going to have to agree with Dan on this one.
No, but
She never agrees with me.
because
Red letter day.
because they want to hear the stories and they want me to tell them
same old stories that Mike's
I
heard.
talked to Jay, another concrete man.
Whoa!
Oh, you're
you got-
double dipping in concrete?
No, he
Does
helped
Mike
me
know
out.
that?
Well, I knew he helped me
I'm
before.
pretty sure you're only
Concrete
supposed to
Mike.
have one, sir.
That's right.
I'm dead serious. I'm pretty
Loyal.
sure that in that, it's like having two handymans. You can't have two handymans.
Yeah. Because
You
the
got
ones
two
that-
handyman. You can't have that.
You can have multiple. They don't care. They don't care.
No,
They're
that's
always
that's
busy.
why your house is falling apart.
They're always busy, and
Wow.
No, that's a deuce in the wall scenario.
No. But now the guys that know how to do this work and do it well, like Mike, he has never-ending amount of jobs. He can't. I mean, in fact, like I'm almost hindering him by promoting him because he can't do 30 different
Let's check
driveways.
with Mike before we.
I know this guy's. I know Mike's business.
We're live on.
In the chat, Concrete Toad, which is Concrete Mike, says, "How dare you, sir?" He's offended that you have another concrete guy.
No, Mike.
He said,
Maybe-
"I'm out. Do the driveway with him." That's what he
Oh,
did.
in caps.
All
Oh,
caps.
damn. Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's gonna kill your trees, bro.
Oh, he
Your
don't
wife's
want to.
gonna- Your wife's gonna be so
Concrete
mad.
Jay doesn't want to do the driveway. He just did it for a one-time favor this other time.
One and done.
Yeah.
Concrete
Wham bam,
Jay-
thank you,
Concrete
ma'am.
Jay sounds like somebody who just dabbles in concrete.
Yeah. Like he used to do it. He
He's
got out of the game.
Quickcrete Jay, and there's Concrete Mike.
He's in the rock game now. Like he doesn't deal. The concrete
Wow,
work
you-
is too much.
You really pissed off Concrete Mike.
Wow.
No.
We're
he
live on
knows.
Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, the strongest stream in Orlando. And everybody in the chat room is saying that you, sir, are a chirper. If you stand over the guy, the cableman,
Yes.
the Safe Touch man, the Guardian Water Services man, like any other people that come to your house to do certain American Air and Heat, if you stand near them and you know the tech and you're just standing there shooting the breeze,
That's
you
chirping.
are chirping.
Yeah.
If they know the show, I chirp at them. If they don't know the show, I got nothing to talk about. I can't. I don't.
Why do you
I
have to
do
talk?
Small talk, huh?
No, you don't have to talk.
I don't. Well, if they know the show and they're doing me a favor, I talk.
But they don't want that.
They
Why don't
do.
you just
They do want that.
tip them extra instead of
Yeah.
talking their
They
ear off?
like
Yeah,
the verbal tips.
$10.
I got confirmation from Mike
I don't
and
know.
from Jay and other people.
Christine is just laying you out because it's exactly the
Jose
same scenario.
Santos.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same scenario that I have at Publix where I say they like it. I have confirmation emails from people that work there that say they like it. You guys claim fake news. I'm saying the same thing to you.
Strangers don't like it. I'm saying like Joe Santos helped me put the windows in my house that
Doxing
time.
him.
And I talked to him that entire. He liked it. And then
I'd have to talk to him to make sure he liked
Yeah.
it.
anybody, I bet. Find one person that did work over my house as a favor. You know, I still pay them.
Oh my
but
God,
it
there's
was like-
thausands of people
I know,
that like, God.
but they
Can't
all
even
like
contact
me
all of
talking.
Seminole County.
None of them got annoyed. My wife said the same thing. They're like, quit talking to them, whatever. She gets mad because, like...
Yeah, but don't you want them to concentrate on doing a great job? Haven't you had a few instances where the jobs aren't, like, they're just like, you know,
they can't-
78% or something? Maybe that's because you're talking to them.
That could be true, but they like the stores.
Okay, so it's worth the 13% off of it. Yeah, okay.
Because that's what they're there for. They're there for the stories.
Yeah. Yeah, not for the work.
No. The story, because I'm paying them less than they normally charge.
Verbal tips.
This is a hookup.
Verbal tips.
The truth comes out.
All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
It is national, or let's say at least at the time of taping, it is National Trail Mix Day.
Yeah.
And the person on this show that's on the trails is Sam.
Yeah.
What you say about trail mix? Yay or nay? Are you a fan or not a fan?
I don't eat a ton of trail mix. I got to be
It's
honest with
calorically
you.
dense.
It's and to try and find a healthy one is kind of hard. Sometimes.
Healthy trail mix kind of sucks.
You can't
right?
throw like the M&Ms in there.
No, my
'cause then
wife.
it's just sugar.
My wife buys. She'll be like, I got you a healthy trail mix. And it's yucky. It's got the green peanuts in it, weird looking peanut that looks like a peanut, but it's green.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of nut that is.
Not a pistachio?
Probably. I don't
Okay.
know my nuts. I'm not a nutman. I'm a basic bitch. I'm like a good old American roasted peanut man.
Yeah, and then it
I
has
look like the roasted peanut man.
It's like for the sweet part, it's got dried dates, and you're like, gross.
Yeah, that's.
I want M&Ms.
Yeah, I want M&Ms or at least carob
and
chips.
regular salty peanuts.
Salty. Thank you.
And
Banana
that's
chips.
basically
I could do a banana chip. You know, when you
Not a big, not a
I
big
like
fan
the
of
banana chips, but again, sugar. There's sugar in
Yeah,
that.
that's what makes it good.
Oh, yeah.
If
I
you
just want a bag of peanuts and M&Ms. Yeah.
Peanut
mix-
M&Ms?
Yeah.
Write that down.
Okay.
That's good. So we have determined that peanut M&Ms are the perfect trail mix.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got to skip all that garbage like sesame sticks. You know those little sesame sticks?
Yes.
Those are disgusting.
Well, I like the sesame sticks.
Nah,
Also like rye chips.
I don't want. Oh man, you're checking all the Mimo
I know.
boxes. I'm just saying.
I know. I like
So,
all the Mimo
Don't
stuff.
let your husband age you because he's grumpy old man like we are. You're a young, vibrant, independent woman, Sam.
So, Sam, let's talk about hiking. I saw on social media that you've been hiking over the weekends, and
It looks fun.
what
Yeah.
what
it's
trails?
hot as hell, though.
Like, it is hot.
That's the problem. You got to get out there early or you are going to melt.
Yeah.
Today they said that the heat index in Orlando is going to reach a high of 107.
Why?
Yeah. It's brutally
God.
hot. You can't do.
I think we're
anything
breaking
now.
records at this point, right?
This is
It
our
feels like it.
This is our version of up north's February, where you just have to stay inside. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
in February,
I'm going out all the time.
I know. Yeah, it's about the,
I like being outside too, though. Like for some reason, like
it's doable, but it is excruciating.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked to our friend Concrete Mike, who does like a real job where he
Oh, my
sweats.
God.
And for me, it's like I do get a lot more of like I enjoy the feeling of sweating. I do. You know, I think there's
Yeah.
and maybe I equate it with my Peloton or maybe like
It makes you feel like you're working out.
I think so.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, there's something with it that makes
Yeah.
me. It changes chemicals in my body. It makes me feel good. I
Yeah,
enjoy it.
You're
So this-
supposed to sweat.
Yeah.
We've evolved to sweat every day because we used to have to work hard as hell every day to survive. Right?
Yeah, it just feels better. Like at the end of the day, like okay, like I sometimes do this with the beach. Like, you know, you go to the beach and it's really hot and you spend time with your family. You're not really doing anything. You're relaxing.
Yeah.
But there is a certain level of comfort that I know I achieve when I get home from the beach, take a shower, we've done dinner, and I'm just sitting on the couch. Like,
Oh,
I
well,
don't know.
the sun will straight up drain you
But
of
I
energy.
like that feeling
Yeah.
of like, it feels like I've done something.
Yeah,
Because
hard work, it's always better at the end of the day.
It is.
Like earning that beer, that like whatever the thing that you give yourself always is better after a day of hard work. Even if it's like hard work for a vacation or for the beach or, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to lift a bunch of stuff and a heavy,
Yeah.
you sweat your ass off. You're like, it's hard work or whatever.
Yeah.
Like going to the beach can be hard work.
Oh, with a
right?
full family, with a big family, yeah.
You're parking, you're walking, it's hot.
Yeah.
Like anything like that, always at the end of the day, it feels better than just sitting around all day doing nothing. You
Correct.
know, like there's something to be said about doing that for work too. Although day after day, and like I'm sure it gets old, and you're just like, my God, it's too hot and too much work. But anyway, back to the hiking. Mm-hmm. So where'd you find the best trails to hike?
There's this thing called Google, right? And they have reviews, and
Yeah.
you can see where people rate the greatest trails around your area.
But
So
how-
that's basically what I do. Also, there's tons of hiking apps. So I think my husband has like 2 different apps now.
Do you have to subscribe to these apps?
Some
or-
of them are free, and some of them you do have to pay for.
What are you looking for on these trails, or are you just getting out?
Just getting out.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there some because there are different trail people that like different things, like
You should do like famous murderers of Florida's grave sites.
That's not a bad idea.
Right? That'd be like a good hike for you.
Because you can like go near Claremont and actually get elevation, right?
Yeah, I went to the highest quote unquote point in Central Florida. There's a trail over in Claremont that I went to. I think that might have been the first one we did actually when we first started hiking.
Start with the best.
Right?
So there's actually elevation changes because normally,
I mean, not much, but yes.
Yeah. You know, hiking is always synonymous with like, I feel Colorado or the mountains or whatever, like you're hiking up a mountain.
She uses the term nature walks, which I don't like that term for some reason. It sounds like your kids, you know, like you're going to the
I'm in nature
preserve.
Yeah, the Green Mountain Scenic Overlooking Trailhead. That's where we went in Claremont. They have a big like overlook tower.
That's cool.
So the difference between scenic like outdoor walks and hiking to me is the trail. And if the trail is totally groomed, flat, and like manicured, then that's a walk. A hike, if you have to walk over stumps and you know, you know what I'm saying, like the trail is rudimentary.
To me, the width of the trail also comes into play. If I may piggyback on. I don't like a wide hiking trail. I like even if it's clear. I still feel more like I'm hiking if the trail is narrow. If it's a wide trail, where like
the woods are
like
too
a road.
far,
like a road, like a trash vehicle can drive through with the little pinchers and pick up like
they
you
have
know.
those,
I don't like that. It takes me. It's not as immersive. I think.
So what's considered like one of the most difficult hikes in Florida? Because I got to tell you, when we went to that Pontoon Island to hike up to the Shell Mound, I mean that was on the more difficult side, and the fact that you were hiking through a football field of ankle deep water.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of gross.
So you're hiking through like a swampy area. You know?
There was one. This was years ago though. I went to one out in the Springs, Ponce de Leon Springs, and the trails out there are literal swamps. Like, and the mosquitoes and bugs were so bad I couldn't even go halfway down the trail.
Yeah, that's more fear factor. Hard.
Side question that was asked by my daughter that I didn't know how to answer. That ties in perfectly. Where do mosquitoes live?
In water, right?
Yeah, in puddles, standing water.
Do they?
Well, that's where they get their larvae.
Breed,
no, I understand that, but like she asked me, she's like, well, you know, when they're done biting us or being annoying, where do they go?
And I'm fly around.
And I was like, I don't think they ever stop, right? They just kind of do their thing.
Well,
I don't think they nest. Like they don't go back and chill out with their family.
They breed, and I think, if I'm trying to think. So
you're going to help give me an answer for her.
The
Thank you.
male mosquito, it doesn't, or the female doesn't bite. Which is the big one?
I think the big one is the
the male, right? Is it the female's the one that actually
bites?
Sucks your blood, right?
Yes.
And then it makes sense because
males don't bite.
They use the blood probably to reproduce and make the eggs and stuff.
Sure.
Obviously, they have to...
A lot of energy.
I assume they have to mate with the male who doesn't bite, and the male's just there for its seed
fertilize,
to fertilize, and then the female uses the blood. They make eggs, and they probably only live days or a week or something, like a butterfly or something, or maybe even enough time to reproduce. That's what I was trying to
explain to her. I was like, I don't think they live for a very long time. You know, like you see them, and that's their day.
Yeah, and they bite and get enough blood to probably reproduce, and then that's their life cycle.
Right.
Typically, mosquitoes live about 7 days.
All right.
Also, during the day, they typically live in places with either standing water, tall grass, hollow logs, or under leaf litter.
So no true nest, no true home, no true cave, nothing, no dwelling whatsoever. Yeah. And man, 7 days, you get to about that 6th day, and you're like, one more bite. Right? You know, you're like,
it's
I'm going to do it one more time. I'm as good once as I ever was.
A lot of animals literally just live to reproduce. I mean, that's the point. You know?
I'm right here, buddy.
Like an octopus.
I'm right here.
An octopus will live a year and reproduce, and then when it has its babies, it'll transfer all its energy to its babies until it turns white and die. You know what I'm saying? His whole point of living was to have the babies.
Do they ever almost die, and then they come back to life, and they're like, and then the babies are like, Daddy! And he's like, I made it.
No. Die every time.
Every time.
Yeah. So back to hiking. So when you go on hikes, do you have hiking boots and that kind of thing?
Remember, I have the toe shoes that you guys hate.
Yeah.
I don't hate them.
Do you bring a knapsack?
Travis brings a hiking backpack. He also has his dad New Balances on.
Okay. And what, do you bring a lunch and eat out there?
You bring a
or
sandwich,
just snacks?
you bring a little turkey sandwich and a Ziploc bag, hot with the
No,
cheese.
what we typically do is try and get out in the morning, like have a breakfast, then go hiking, and then we treat ourselves to a nice beer and lunch after the hike.
I
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we don't
Yeah.
actually bring food with us, but we bring waters and Gatorades and stuff.
Hike to the shell
not
mounts,
die.
see all the trash people throw everywhere, head back to Ale House.
Yep.
Do you
I'm in.
Do you look for something specific? Do you just look around for wildlife? Is it about the exercise? Some people it's about seeing the
mostly
animals.
exercise, also just to get out with nature. But my husband has ulterior motives a lot of the time.
All right.
You hear what I'm saying?
Things that butlers into.
Yeah. Are you
Okay,
picking up what she's laying down?
Yeah.
You picking that up, buddy?
Yeah. So he's a
That's why I
Yeah.
never discose where we are until after we
Right.
leave.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's a woodsman.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. He's a walker of the woods.
Yeah. And he enjoys the woods.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
must be,
Yeah.
to
It's a
me,
different kind of hiking.
be nervous, like,
No, never nervous.
like anytime we were in Peace River, when you had to doo-doo in the woods, every time I went out there during broad daylight, even though I'd walk far.
for some reason, I'm willing to power through for the other thing, not the doo-doo.
Right.
The
Yeah,
doo-doo,
yeah.
I'll just hold it until my body's poisoned and I'll die. But the other thing, I'll try it.
Yeah, you're right. And I feel like less embarrassed of people seeing me do the other thing because, like, if someone.
Because there is a high five factor there.
Yeah. It's we're like, whoa, he's getting it.
For anybody, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I see a girl, two girls, two
Yeah,
guys,
you're like,
whatever.
wow,
if
adventure.
I walk by and I see it, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
They're not
America.
Yeah, if you're just doing number 2, it's like, oh, that guy's.
I was like, find a bathroom, you piece of.
yeah.
But the other people, I'm
And
like,
also,
all right.
Yeah, he's nervous. Yeah, the other thing, you're like, wow, like they're doing it.
Yeah, I was
they're-
like, I haven't
they're
had one of
adventure.
those in a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
people
yeah.
still do that? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on fleek. I try to stay, I try to use the terminology
Now-
the
The
kids
nice
use.
lingo.
There is this, and Daniel will know because he knows all the same videos I see.
What kind of videos? You
There-
talking adult videos?
There is a adult video series, and it seems
Adult video series.
well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
well, I
it's a
say
series.
series because a lot of it's just-
Unfortunate series.
and it seems to happen in some sort of Eastern Bloc country because they go out
A lot
to
of
the woods.
abandoned
like under
buildings.
bridges.
But not
and-
no, that's the urban side.
a
But
A
they'll
lot
go
of
into
strange
parks.
Austrian buildings that look like bombs of.
I'm saying the woods one where they go out into the woods.
Yeah.
like there's a woods.
It looks
one.
cold.
Yeah.
A lot of trees that are white.
And
Like White Walkers are coming.
sometimes they'll put a blanket down, but most of the time they won't.
No.
So you're limited in what you could do
You have to
in the
keep
woods.
things around your ankles, which
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like is weird. I can't do that. I'm not
Yeah.
an ankle guy.
And you have to, most of it is standing in some sort of
Yeah, I don't
way,
have
right?
enough power in
You're not-
my
Yeah.
quads to do that.
So is that accurate in what I see in the videos?
Yeah, a lot of standing, bending.
Okay, yeah.
Logs are involved.
Oh, logs. Yeah,
Logs,
You
you gotta-
put your hand on the log. Watch out for the
Yeah.
bull ants.
Rub the log.
Yeah, the bull
Like
ants
the
will come out.
Apollo.
When you're shaking the log, it shakes
Well,
the
you
bull
can't
ants out.
shake too much. You got to be still.
Yeah.
You got to do it like there's a predator in the woods.
Has there ever been, because in some of those videos I watch, sometimes someone comes around the corner and they have to
That
stop.
That
Yeah.
happened one time.
Oh, really?
They have to do the hoo-ha.
But things were completed.
Yeah,
before.
I don't.
okay, okay,
But
yeah.
very quickly.
Like, how's your
had to turn around.
good day for a hike, huh?
Pretended I was tying my shoe. You know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
This is way better than your boat stories.
What's the best nature hike around here within like 2 hours of here?
Oh God, we have places around here that just like you wouldn't even think are in the middle of Orlando, and you go and there's like a stream.
You'd be
and
very surprised. There are like randomly like in the middle of. There's tons in Chuliota, Bithlo, stuff like that. But there's Oviedo has a ton of trails.
Where you can actually
Just go
see,
down Colonial, you'll find different wilderness areas.
there's like Little Econ out there.
Yeah.
There's
we've
trails
done a
around
ton
there.
around Little Econ.
Like it's cool seeing like you want
Booney Falls,
you want a river.
when anybody says Little Econ, I think of Dale Jr.
Junior Nation.
Anytime there's a river and there's some sort of even a small elevation change and dense woods are cool, right? Like
Yeah.
bodies of water, you want to be nearby because like I know
I like the nature aspect of it, the animals and stuff.
because on our way back from the Hontoon Island hike we did, when we just walked through the saw palmetto fields, it's like kind of all the same. There's
Yeah.
nothing, it's just like, all right, it's just a square, like a road, saw palmettos.
Now, I do find the beauty in that. What's impressive to me with
It is
that
nice,
is how organized Mother Nature is without even us doing anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy
just
organized.
Pine trees and saw palmettos.
Yeah, just from the wind and just from things falling, they have organized a perfect
hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, it's really neat.
You're right.
I like that aspect of it, like that's why I like my trails narrow. I know that sounds really weird.
Hit the Florida Trail. Hit that this weekend.
I'm you guys know I have a vivid imagination, and when I'm out there, I like to pretend things maybe are a little better than they are, so when the trails are narrow and I don't see car tracks, it's the car tracks that kill it for me.
Yeah.
When you see the car tracks, I'm like, well, there's cars back here. I want it like only people are allowed back here. I don't know. Maybe it sounds weird.
I got a trail for you.
I know we talked to the BDM that mountain biked across Florida, down. So if you mountain bike, you could definitely hike could you hike from the Everglades all the way to Tallahassee or something? I'm sure.
Trying to remember how long the Florida Trail is, but I think it goes all the way through the state of Florida.
And you may have to cross some roads and some things here, but for the most part, it's just walking and outdoors, right?
Now, Christine in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. I'm calling it Orlando's Strongest Stream. Mm-hmm. She says, Tom's son will do the mud walk in 5th grade, and that's a fun little hike. Yeah, I remember people talking about it, and it's primarily, like she says, in Seminole County. The mud walk's cool. All the kids love the mud walk.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like what we used to do in DeLand. We had something similar where we would go out to the Pioneer Art Settlement, and it was kind of like a rite of passage. When you got to a certain grade, you would go out and do a kind of a bigger hike with your class, and it was super fun.
Spring Hammock Reserve, she said, in Seminole County.
All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, that sounds like some hillbilly ass S.
Like Sadie Hawkins Day or something.
Get your kids out in nature, man.
That didn't happen down in Miami. We had the fry some croquetas.
Hey, don't be messing with croquetas. Those are awesome.
Yeah, no mud walks. I want them to do that. Getting out in the nature is awesome to me.
Did you do in our 5th grade year? It was the annual Camp Weewaw trip where you stayed for a weekend in Camp Weewaw. Did you do any kind of camping trips? No.
Do you want to know what we did? We went to.
They didn't have any of that. That I knew of.
Was it high school? No, I don't think. I was middle school. I believe in 5th grade I went to Washington D.C. on a trip.
I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, and we stayed in hotels. I still have my binder of when I put it together because it wasn't high school. I remember when I tell people now, they're like, in middle school, you went and stayed at a hotel room? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
In Washington, D.C. with a lot of friends. And it was, boys with the boys and girls with the girls. Nothing crazy happened, but I don't hear of this anymore.
That's a older school, smaller town thing, I think. They didn't. The only actual field trip that we took out of Miami was for our what is it called? Seniors do it. It's like
a grad night.
Grad night.
You went and you saw DC Talk at Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, we went up. Went to Disney World.
They sang Jesus Freak, and you were. I love the song Jesus Freak. I love you, DC Talk.
I don't think I went. But I want to say I did. I just have no memory.
Actually, you know what? I have to back up on that joke. That would have been Night of Joy.
Right.
Oh, that's more of a religious thing.
Yeah. That would have been Night of Joy. I got that horribly wrong.
They have that at Universal, right?
All right. We'll take a quick break. Is this the last half of it?
No.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Sam and Butler are here. We're going to jump into email messages and voicemail messages. And I'd like to take this time to remind you that all of our, this right here, all of our streaming, everything that we do Monday through Friday is live on Twitch. And you can be there, chat with people, watch it, hang out with really open-minded and cool people. Or you can always catch our replays on YouTube. It's all the same name. Just search for Tom and Dan Live.
Yep, you can listen to audio only if you want to, and listen to the show as we record it live, and listen to what happens during the breaks and everything on Twitch. So it'll notify you as soon as we record, so you don't even have to know. Like, you'll get the message, like, oh, Tom and Dan are recording, hit it, and then audio only.
You can jump right over. It's awesome. So let's start with some emails. I know, Sam, we were neglecting emails. Now I believe we're neglecting voicemails, but that's okay. That's okay. Emails, if you'd like to shoot some of those to us, show@tomandan.com.
All right, group work in school. Hello, all. I am currently back in school pursuing my master's degree. Before you poo-poo all over that, it's only because work is paying for it and not because it's something I actually want to do.
Nice.
Anyway, when I enroll in a class, the first thing I do is read the syllabus, and if there is a group work involved, I drop the class. I hate being accountable for someone else's grade and collaborating with others. I always find myself in the leader role. As an introvert, this really stresses me out. Unfortunately, 2 of my required classes have group work this semester, and I can't escape it. My question to you all is, what were your experiences like working on group projects in school? If I had to guess, I'd say Dan contributed and provided ideas, but didn't want to lead. Tom did what was assigned to him, but not much else. And Sam acted the same way I did and begrudgingly stepped into the leader role because nobody else would.
That's a great question.
Group work sucks.
I also hated group work. And
Who likes it? Nobody, right?
Well, but I
lazy
okay.
people do.
Okay,
I'll tell
Yeah,
you why.
you're right.
Butler
Yeah, you're
loved
right.
it.
Oh!
I'm just joking. Oh, you can't make fun of Butler.
I think that okay. I too hated it, but I think that it is extremely important because, dare I say, it is one of the only times in school that you will get a real world scenario.
Yeah. You're
So
forced to
I
work
think it's
with.
super important.
Yeah, in a day and age, it's probably more important now because in a day and age where everything's becoming where you have less and less human contact, like person to person.
Yeah.
It's like being forced to work with other people teaches you valuable skills.
It's very important.
About how to work with people
How,
because
but
working
how
with people
does
is
it
hard.
How does it teach you good skills when the other people don't do the work and you have to do it all?
And it teaches you that's what reality is
It
going to be.
sets you up for the real world that when you
Yeah.
get to your job, don't expect for people to do their fair share because they're not.
All your employees are going to be horrible. Your bosses are going to be
So
horrible.
it's just teaching you to be disappointed.
Well,
Yes.
it's
Okay.
more of a preparing you for like
The reality
like
of
when
it.
some kids get out there and they're they got their shiny new degree and they're like I'm going to Hollywood. It doesn't work like that.
Here's the group dynamic that I've always seen.
That just seems like extended torture to me. I
it's-
don't know.
If now you could look out, like every once in a while, you'll get the suit, and like you'll get an Andrea. No, and this is by no offense, but if you got an Andrea in your group, you are set.
Oh no, she would
you
agree.
are. You're like, yes, I won the lottery because she will do everything.
Yeah.
and make sure that
I look at our marriage as group work, and I hit the lottery because
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't doing no. This
So,
bitch got it all.
like me. Okay, this is the group. It's me, Butler.
Oh God, you're already doomed.
My God, you wait a
Both
minute.
of
Don't
you.
put me in your group. I want to be in Sam's group.
Yeah, and
What are we doing?
No, it's all of us in a group. Me, Butler, Samantha. Actually, Samantha and Andrea butt heads because they'll both try
No,
to.
they actually work quite
I
well
think we would
together.
work together.
Well,
One's
they-
got little T's, one's got big T's. It's a perfect fit, dude. It's like the human 69 of greatness.
Well, I'm just saying someone's got to be the leader, and
Why can't they
you know.
co-lead? Women can do stuff like that. Guys are the only people that can't do
Co-lead?
that.
Oh,
Guys are the
God.
only people that can't do
Egos.
that.
That's
Yeah.
what happens when you make women the leaders. You
All
got
I'm
a
saying is
co-leader.
the Tom and Dan side chicks are the loyal ladies that follow Tom. and-
Lady Society, yeah.
They have adopted an entire road that my wife drove Maisie by with me in the car and showed her this is the road. This
I
is
would
what
buy
we're
the
gonna
road
do.
this weekend too.
Yeah, you guys are already
Checking
scoping
it
it
out.
out. Yeah.
Although every company needs a real dodo leader that doesn't know what
Michael
the
Scott.
hell he's doing. Yeah,
Why don't we put Butler in charge of our company?
So he's like the Michael Scott. of
Yeah,
it.
it'd be awesome. Think of all the great parties we have in the break room and all the cakes.
Yeah, you're right. But Michael Scott could land a
And
sale
then,
every
and
once in a
then Toby, and then Toby can be Tony. Very similar. And Butler hates Toby or Tony with a passion.
I don't get any of these references.
Anyway, in the group, there's always or sometimes you'll get the nerd girl that will do all the work, and then the other group, the other members.
That doesn't mean that she won't cry and complain.
No,
Andrea
yeah,
does that.
right.
Oh,
When
Absolutely.
Andrea
Of
was
course.
just she'll cry and complain
no,
to
her boyfriend, which
Yes.
is me. Because when Andrea was finishing UCF,
Oh,
she would cry
had
and
to
complain
say
to me.
it. Yeah, nobody else would do anything else.
But she didn't understand that as her fiance at the time, I looked at being her fiance as being in a group, and I didn't want to hear her cry and complain. I'm like, oh, God.
And the greatest thing about group work is that Andrea couldn't tell the teacher, like, hey, I did everything. These guys didn't do nothing because the teacher would give her a bad grade.
You're
because-
wrong.
Yeah, she'll do that.
I got real petty in college,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I did that.
Really?
Andrea
Yes,
would
I
do that
did.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, because
Andrea would write a
because-
secret email.
No, I said it straight up in the presentation
Yeah, she
to
won't
the
do
class.
That. That's more your
Oh,
style.
man.
That's more your style.
I
That's
got
not
mad.
Andrea's
I got-
style.
I
Yeah.
got-
in front of the other people?
Everybody.
Why
You're
did you do
you're
that?
spicier than Andrea. That makes sense.
I got so mad.
But
I was just like, this person did absolutely
So
nothing,
you
and that's
kinda
why
went-
their portion of the presentation is not here.
So you kind of went rogue in the presentation. I
yeah,
like
I did.
that. I like
I
that.
refused to do their work for them.
Did the teacher give you a bad grade?
Well, we all got the same grade, so we all
Oh.
got penalized for it, but I let her know.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing. I feel like Andrea Andrea wouldn't, like, she needs the A, so she'll just...
I wasn't doing it.
She
Power
would,
through.
balance, she would try to balance it out, but if it
Because
was
if it
really
doesn't get done, the
bothering her-
teacher will give you a, like, now you got a C.
I had a great A in that class anyway. I didn't care.
If it was really bothering her, she would write a very, almost like a covert email to the...
Anonymous tip?
No, not an anonymous. She's not that type of like sneaky, but she would like say like
Just so you know.
just so you know,
Yeah.
I would like to be on the record. One of those.
Did it
Which-
change anything? Like with the other grades?
I want to say in this particular thing, they all got the A because it was a good project, but she did it. But she just wanted to let them know that that she did not like the way that they portioned out the work or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
I don't pay attention
they
to
just
my
let
work.
her do it all. Because as soon as you meet your group, you can stereotype that easily.
That's the thing. Like in high school, I would have just done all the work or whatever and bit my tongue and done it. But I'm in college now. I was dealing with mostly adults, some old teens. But it's like, no, I'm not doing your work for you. If I get hit with this, then that's how the teacher decided to grade it. But I am not doing your work.
The older person in college,
And my grade didn't suffer that much, so.
like, it's always good being put in a group with the older person in college because you got like 3 19-year-olds and then one 37-year-old lady.
That's why I
that
didn't.
got-
That's
that
why I
got a
did it all
divorce.
online. That's why I did it all online. I was
Yeah.
not going to be that guy because I would have done good work for these kids, but they don't know that, and I didn't want to fight that fight. So I was like, I'll just do it all online, so they never know me. And then I used somebody else's picture for my avatar online to pretend that I was a young, cool dude.
There you go. You catfished your students.
I had to. I had to do whatever I had to do to get out of college, Sam.
See,
I get it.
What's funny is that I would do all the work and a lot of them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That is
and
surprising.
Here's why.
He's not afraid of hard work, though. So
Well, I don't want any interaction with. I don't want to meet at the library. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want a group camaraderie. I don't want to.
I didn't either, but
Like, I don't even care.
you're Branch from Trolls.
I would do all the work or whatever needed to be done, and even let the other people benefit from it. Didn't care because that was easier than meeting at the GD library and sitting down.
Well,
and
did
then,
you communicate with them, or would you just show up and the group had a presentation and you're like, I did my own?
No.
I am a loner. I am Branch from Trolls.
No, I would make sure they all look good too, and I'd tell them like I'd do it for them and enable them. You know what I'm saying? Like the lazy one, I'd be like, yeah, we'll just do it for you. Just say, you'll get a grade. Like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. Like I was like, everybody will benefit. I'll just do the work. So I don't have to be around you people and meet you at the library because that to me is the ultimate worst. I would rather do everything myself than to meet at 8 o'clock on a Friday night at the library and have to small talk with you guys, and then someone in the group is gonna be like, "Hey, you want to go to?
Hey, let's go to Ale House afterwards.
No, want to go to Wackadoos for a beer?" I'm like, "God damn!" Because I can't say no because I don't want to be a D-head.
Hey,
so
I
then
like
I'm at
Wackadoos.
Wackadoos.
I like Wackadoos.
And then I'm sitting, and then it goes from the project to now I have to listen to what your interests are, which is even worse than the goddamn project. Anyway,
They don't have any
Just
good
do it.
places like Wackadoos anymore. Everything's too corporate at UCF.
I haven't been there since last time we did a show in Wackadoos.
I drove. Well, that we did.
Or we did that podcast presentation in front of the class. I
Wackadoos
did.
is long gone when we did that.
No, yeah, I know.
They you don't get any of those one-off places, right? Like,
I'm not familiar with Wackadoos.
oh, it's like a little wing place,
It was just an on-campus
wing place,
I think
sports bars ish.
it was. I think it was owned by UCF, or like it was one of UCF's businesses. Because every once in a while they'll own the small campus like deli or whatever.
'Cause
the
it's
hell.
on property,
Yeah,
yeah.
And then instead of like sub it out to Subway or whatever.
They
now
had a Subway.
Now a lot of them they just sub it out to everything. So you're just bringing a corporation and they
you got Applebee's.
Yeah. Way easier.
I don't like
than
that though.
Wackadoos.
It's not cool. I like it when it's like themed. I'm a sucker for it being themed for the school. Like if I go to the University of Florida and I'm on your campus and I can't get wings and a beer at a place called Swampy's, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
want the
That's
I
an
want-
old school thing, though. I think it's all just
big corporations now.
now. It's Wingstop
or
is there.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
It kills it.
It does kill it. It kills the charm of your college. Although, there are a lot of colleges that ran out of room to build. Like UF's like this, and I'm not sure about FSU, but they're so old that the town built around them, there's no more space. Like UCF bought enough acres that they built their entire
it just spirals
inside. So everything is on UCF property. And like UF, there's buildings like across the street and mixed in with other, like the rest of the town and stuff is like spread out through the town. I think like UF or FSU is like this too, where the college is basically spread out within buildings in the town.
Yes.
And the town is built around them. And then that is where you get a lot more quaint college life where it's not like you just show up. UCF, you just show up and now you're on campus and everything's
campus. I have a quick
You're not walking
hot
through
take.
any town. There's no brick anywhere. It's just all.
I have a quick hot take. If like in Orlando, Stetson is in DeLand, Florida.
That's another cool old college.
Yeah, it was great growing up in a cool small college town. But I believe there is a Stetson College of Law, and I think they have a branch here in Orlando. If you go to that one, I don't look at it like it's real. I've always been that way. When I see a remote campus, like if I'm at like some place and they're like, Purdue College of Medicine, Central Florida, and I'm like, nah, that's not the
real one.
fake. That's not the real.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Stetson Law School and it's the Orlando campus, it's not
Right.
They
real. You got to go to DeLand. That's the real.
They've got a UCF remote campus on the west side of town,
fake.
and then it's like when people go there, like that's not the real.
If
you graduate from there, that's not it. Yeah.
If you graduate from there, I feel like you got to go. You got to go back. You don't know as much as I do. I went to the real. I'm sorry, but that's how I live my life.
That seems like it's not going to be the same after the pandemic too, right? Where there's going to be less in-student, like a lot more stuff is online.
It was already going that way anyway.
Yeah, this
my
just
husband
forced
did
it.
most of all of his college
Man, I
online.
went back and I never. When I tell you I never set foot in a class, I never set foot in a class. Even the stuff that they wanted me to or required.
You could find a way around
I
it.
could write a letter and say like, "Hey, I got a new baby, doesn't fit the schedule." Blah, 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 and he was fine.
Does it take away, like, obviously there's difference between you going back later and finishing your degree and, like, the stereotypical you leave your senior year of high school and then you go to 4 years of college or whatever. But it seems like a lot of college is that experience about, like, living on your own for the first time, figuring it out, paying your own bills.
Managing your money, managing relationships.
Living with another human or multiple
Unless you're
humans.
going for
Heartbreak,
like something
fighting your own
specific.
homosexuality.
Or like law school or medical school or something like that. It's basically high school extended.
Yes,
I mean, a lot of my classes were just garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, but
most of the experience is about just learning how to be an adult. So that's a part of the college experience, or used to be. And like you don't get that.
It was my first time living alone. It was my first time budgeting my money. It was my first time paying my own bills. It was my first time having to push down repressed feelings of love for my roommate Brendan. There was a lot going on there.
Right.
Yeah. And so if without that,
I used to like to watch him pee.
You just got the BS classes, which you could say are just an extension of high school anyway. And unless you're going into engineering or law school or medical school or some sort of specific education, it seems like you're missing out on a lot if you're just taking online courses after you graduate and it's all virtual and you're just taking English 1101, and then all the extension of you're not gonna.
I don't know.
As
I
much.
didn't.
Well,
I got nothing the first 2 years of my college. Like English 1101. You know what I did? We didn't even open the textbook. Not one time in that class.
Oh, so you had Robin Williams as your teacher, I see.
I mean, I graduated UCF. I didn't get it. I don't remember one damn thing. I could barely read.
That's what I'm saying, a lot of it, you're not learning anything.
Yeah,
you're just taking up space and they're taking your money.
Yeah, and you're getting a piece of paper at the end that helps you, hopefully, with your career. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is that social learning that you do. And you kind of eliminate that with all virtual classes, and it's like, well, is this even worth it if the education part of it doesn't really benefit you in any way besides
most anything that I learned that would be worthwhile, and this is true, most anything that I learned that would be worthwhile towards radio or let's say podcasting or let's just say media was all taught to me hands-on. There isn't anything that I ever learned at Flagler,
Right.
which was my first college. Then I transferred to UCF, where I finally graduated. I'm a UCF graduate. But there's really no... Now, I will argue that did I learn a lot about media history? Did I learn a lot about kind of the way things used to be and stuff like that? Or how... Yeah, sure. And did I learn some history and math? And yeah, I did learn that stuff. But anything that I learned that is used every day in here was something that was taught to me when I came to a radio station, whether it be the student station at Flagler or Real Radio, and I was taught by somebody that somebody had taught them.
On the job training.
Absolutely. It was the only way I learned. And then just getting your hands dirty, right? Getting in there, trying stuff, messing up, trying stuff.
I tell other people, I tell my mom and Crystal when they bring up my college degree, and I'm like, I promise you, I'll take a lie detector test. I learned nothing that I use current day at all. There's nothing I remember. There's no tips or tricks or some sort of anything that I apply into my day-to-day activities or have applied or remembered. I'm like, oh yeah, I learned that. Nothing. Literally, I wish I could take a like some sort of lie
detector. It would make you
or,
feel better, right? Like if you were like, yeah, use it.
Yeah,
every day.
why? Yeah, of course, because you paid money.
Yeah,
you
be
know,
like-
I wish I learned.
No, I like it better this way
Okay.
because I knew I was learning nothing. Even at the time, I was like,
Okay,
this seems like
Pointless.
it won't do nothing yet. And I was like, I'm right.
I don't balk as much about college as you do because my motivation for achieving it and getting out was different. My motivation was completely pointless. I was really just doing it because my mom was a lifelong educator and couldn't stand the fact that I was not a college-educated dentist. Mm-hmm. My dad didn't have a college degree.
Yeah.
He did 1 year of college and got really high grades, but he found out that he could make a lot more money in the sales profession, and he just wanted the money, and he just worked his way up, and then it eventually killed him. Mom, though, was James Madison University, multiple degrees, and went back, got her master's, and all this kind of so to her, it meant a lot. So that really, and I've said this before, and people are like, oh, that's not true, man. You enjoyed it. I didn't hate it, but I was only doing it because Mom wanted me to do it. That's it.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
it.
That's
and
another
it made her
motivation,
really
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good thing, right? I love my mom, obviously, but man, that's a lot of wasted money and time. I can't say that
You probably could have just told her you graduated, and we could have forged a diploma. She's never gonna look.
We could have totally done that.
Yeah, most jobs you apply for, they never really will look into
Verify it.
Yeah. They're just like, who's gonna lie about that? And they don't care. If you're just like a corporate job.
There's been a guy who opened up his own medical practice that never went to medical school.
Yeah. You just if
He's
you're
been
confident,
busted like 3 times.
Yeah, that's ambition.
if you're
Yeah.
And
confident,
addiction, right? He's addicted to it at this point.
Yeah, you're a BSer. You're a confident con
artist.
con artist. You can
Yeah.
BS you can improv really well. Then you're good. You could be a doctor.
It's Butler.
I could. If
You know
I had
what
a lab
Butler's
coat,
really good at is he's really good at his costuming, his cosplay
Yeah.
stuff. Like making fake
He's not-
incendiary grenades, making helmets. I mean,
He should work in like the movies.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, he
making
should-
costumes and set design.
yeah, he should be on that show with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman called Making It.
his BS game is weak though.
Well, he gets a spotlight on him. He freaks out a little bit. It's
Yes.
like when we go, tell us what's happening on the Tom and Dan watering holes, and he freaks out.
Well, he'll start BSing us. Maybe it's just me, or I don't know.
Well, he's already started BSing you because
Well,
he's gonna kill you one night.
He starts BSing you with something, and he sounds confident. He's got the confidence that you
He's
need.
got the good looks.
He starts confident.
Yeah. But then as he goes on talking, immediate holes are being punched into his story, and red flags
he
are
makes them
going
too
up.
long. He needs to
Yeah.
make them short
Yeah.
and beautiful.
Yes.
You know,
And I'm like,
kind
wait
of
a
like
minute.
me.
Where was this again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You gotta go poignant,
And then-
confident, and quick. You can't go long. You go long, it starts to fall apart.
and you poke a couple holes, and immediately starts retracting.
He's in the air too long. Can't be in the air that long. You got to be up, down, immediately land it.
I think I could. If you put me in a doctor's office, I could BS being a doctor.
You'd have to wear shoes.
No, well, I'm dressed. I'll put the lab coat or whatever, but I'll go in
Okay.
and then do everything my doctor does. Type on I'll be behind
could
a
do that.
computer.
You could.
But it'll be typing nothing. I can't even type. And
No, you don't have to.
Then I'll be like, "What is wrong?" He's like, "I got a throat thing." What is that? I'm like, "Let me feel your glands." I touch the
You
neck.
do this
I'm
thing where
like,
you go ahead and take a long breath.
Yeah.
Again. They do that
Yeah.
thing. And
It's hard to
but see,
tell.
that's when I know that he's figuring out the diseases, right?
Yeah.
When he's telling me again to take another breath.
The whole Butler's flaws. He starts telling too much, and then he
goes fast crawling.
Yeah.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
You have to be quiet, and that makes the other person think you're thinking, and that you know what you're thinking about, but you're not thinking about anything.
Well, they tell you that in
Totally
business
blank.
too. They say in business, if you're having a meeting, the person that's listening is in control of the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Because you're staying quiet, you got your cards close to the vest, you're not airing it out, you're not emotional in any way. You're just sitting there nodding gently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You let everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's confident.
All right. Bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here, Butler's here, the Fisher here. Look in the bottom right-hand corner, and you will see something hideous. Let me put him up. It is
I thought you were talking about the sponge.
No,
Thought you were talking about-
it's talking about you. Do you want to do it?
Talk
Here
about
we-
me, thanks.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Oh,
Here we
boy.
go.
Santa Claus is coming in.
Don't be jealous.
Jock, nerd,
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. And I'm not jealous of a big gray beard. When I see big gray beards, I never think to myself, I wish I had a giant gray beard. Like, I see other beards, and I'm jealous of those.
Your beard grows rapid fire fast.
It doesn't take that long.
No, because you had it like trimmed with the gray, it looks really good. But as it starts to grow, the grays, I think, grow longer than the blacks.
Yeah, and it shows more, too.
You got to dye it again. I never thought I'd say that, but you got to
Yeah.
dye it again.
Damn it.
Aren't people at your work going to be like, hey, you're not presentable, you can't come in to work looking
I
like...
wear a mask all day.
Yeah, but that you still have a big gray homeless man beard poking out of the mask. It's not like the mask covers everything. All right.
It's great for radio.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us on Real Radio, he put a mask on silently.
Sorry.
A moment of
Oh.
silence.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Also,
Tom, do you want to go to the anniversary game in Miami on October 23rd for the 2001 National Championship game?
Ooh.
You can sit in the press box. And Sunday, the Falcons play the Dolphins the same game. If Tom doesn't want to go, Dan, you can go.
That's pretty cool.
so
And you get to stay in the box for
In the suite, yeah, it's the I think it's the championship players suite.
now explain to me what this trip will be like. Do we have to ride down to Miami together?
I don't want to ride with you. I was just saying if you want to meet me
Man,
at the
this
stadium.
is sad because you've reached full grump.
What?
Full
You
grump.
want to ride in a car with EJ?
I mean, like I don't think EJ is a bad human being. I don't think that just going to Miami is going to be that. Yeah,
No, I don't think
he's a friend of mine.
More
So yes, I will
likely, I
say
would listen to Hardcore History the whole way down and not pay attention to me. So
you could wear your own earbuds and listen to anything you want. You could listen to some, I don't know. What do you listen
Here,
to?
it's not about
Pocket Aces Poker Podcast with the world's most famous gambler, Stu McGillicuddy. Like, what are your favorite podcasts?
all sports gambling.
All in with the king. Like, you listen to all those big fat turds, those gambling fat turds,
Yeah.
those dumb guys like, oh, what are you listening to? Yeah, Pocket Queens with the big guy.
So
Stupid.
it's not about, yes, EJ would just turn on some hardcore history and I'll enjoy listening to that as we drive. But I
Just
also.
close your eyes for a spell, sir.
yeah, it's a 3-hour trip.
Yeah,
We
just
would-
shut your eyes and get a nap. When's the last time you had a good nap?
I feel compelled to
I don't
tell
want you
people
chirping at me
stories.
the whole way
Why?
down there,
Stop
too.
feeling
Why?
compelled to do anything.
Yeah, why? Stop feeling compelled to tell people stories they don't want to hear.
Like-
Nobody wants to hear
I've
your
heard all your
stories.
stories. I've heard them all. So
Yeah, we have heard
please
them
don't
all.
Tell me any of your old stories.
Not all of
Like,
them.
you're gonna tell-
There's some that I'll tell.
Only on the trip?
What? No, yeah. I mean,
Oh, then I
Oh,
definitely
you
want
pulled
to
me
come
back in.
I'll air them when we're. I'm not sure when, but when things really start falling apart, like right now.
Like before you get canceled.
Like right now, our listeners are sitting in kayaks waiting for the glacier to go. But it takes. You never know. Like pieces fall, and you hear that, and then and then one day the entire side of the the glacier falls off. And then right after that, I'll tell all of them. Because there's no coming back. I was like, oh, well, if this
Because
much.
you'll be watching it live like on a feed, right?
Yeah, well,
So you'll know exactly as it.
Yeah,
when
well,
it
the
goes
listeners
in.
won't. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll know something had happened, and then when they start hearing us burn all the bridges, they'll know, like, well, there's no coming back from this. Anyway, What do you got first, DJ?
Okay, let's start off with, do you have any stock in Paragon Marketing Group?
I do not have any stock in Paragon Marketing Group. Go fish.
Well, because have you heard the story about ESPN got duped by a fake high school to air their football game this Sunday?
So explain to me how this happened.
I saw the headline. Don't understand the story. So
Okay, this is what happened. So Paragon Marketing Group is the one that sells the games to ESPN. They got duped by a fake charter school in Ohio called Bishop Sycamore. And it's not even a real school. It's an online school. You can only go to it online. So they have this guy created a football team with a bunch of JUCO dropouts, like junior college dropouts. And they convinced this Paragon Marketing Group that they have some Division I prospects that might go to the Division I schools to play Florida IMG Academy, which is like national championship team from last year. And they got slaughtered 58-0. So these the adults that are like 21, 23 got beat by some 18 to 15-year-olds.
You explained it horribly because I still don't understand. So
because you explained it as if that ESPN was being duped, but technically they weren't being duped.
They played a game,
but it's not a real high school.
Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't be a valid game because they're like the Ohio State Athletic Association says there's no such school as Bishop Sycamore, and the coach is has arrest warrants for him for fraud that are active right now. Like all this stuff is going down as the game is playing, and the announcers are going crazy, like saying, "We didn't do our due diligence when we checked this out. We're not totally sure about it."
Hold on. So, but the other team
sounds about right for 2021.
Well, the other team was in on it. It's not like you just show up and like, I don't know who I'm going to play today. I'm showing up at the old field and play all game.
I mean, they must have organized the actual game.
The event, I mean, to play a football game, like I'm guessing, I mean, I know there's like less crowd, but in the, I don't know where you play it, here in Florida, full crowd.
Were the announcers?
Well, they wouldn't have any film on them, so that was usually the case. Usually you get film of a team before, but because it's like a new school, they said, and they didn't have they played a game Friday, so they played 2 games in 3 days, which is like crazy for high school football.
So let me get this straight. Okay, so I'm back this up. If we wanted to prank ESPN, like let's say there's some online school here, like Full Sail, right? We work a Full Sail, and like we pretend like Full Sail has a football team. We put together a game, but we still need another. This is high school, right? Or college?
High school.
High school.
The Full Sail will be in college.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a high school team.
Well, let's say we find a local online high school, but we still need, like, what's a local high school here? University High School or...
Sure.
Or, like,
Bishop Moore.
Let's go University.
Yeah. And then we would still need that high school to be in on the prank to play us. Therefore, we need something to film to then prank ESPN. So that school would have to be in on the joke. Was the other school in on it?
No, the other school had no clue because they usually play teams from all over the country.
But that doesn't mean
they
have their schedule. You're missing something.
I know what you're saying. And also,
so we get the correct story.
Also, you didn't help us at all, Tom, by using your example school as University High School. Not a good choice when we're trying to figure out the colleges, the high school.
Or let's use my alma mater, Cypress Creek. Me and Sam's alma mater.
All right, Cypress Creek. I'm not from here.
Well,
so
the easy thing that you're not understanding, EJ, is that Tom's saying that you need 2 participants, so you can't have one team that knows, the other team wouldn't even know to show up.
ESPN itself did not schedule the game. Paragon Marketing Group took care of finding matchups and providing them to ESPN as the company's relationship spans nearly 20 years. So this marketing group, I guess, is the one that schedules these matchups to be aired on ESPN.
And this online school just slipped through the cracks, right? That's what happened.
Well, they claimed that they were like a Division I team.
Well, they lied.
Absolutely lied.
Sure,
yes.
that's fine. Yeah.
What I don't understand, and I don't know the insides of high school football, but I assume that, from what I remember, like my high school would play the same high schools, and there was the rivalries and stuff, and if I remember, there was very little new high schools that were teams that would pop up. That would, these schedules are set at the year prior or whatever. Like, hey, here's where we're gonna play and everything. So I don't understand how you would like make a high school football team and then shoe it in some sort of other person's high school schedule to even do this, because the other high school will be like, "Where? I've never even heard of these people or this high school."
Well, that was the marketing company's job.
Yeah,
and they failed to do
You
that.
have usually divisional games that you play. You play people that are in your division, like Cypress Creek would play like Oak Ridge, Boone, Winter Park, people that are in the area. But then you'd have like 2 on your schedule that you wouldn't be in your division. And we played a team from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania one time at the Wide World of Sports. So you do have these odd games that you will play. And I think it's usually at the very beginning of the year, and that's when it happened.
A spokesperson for Paragon said that the transfers at the prep level, especially for an online school, can make confirming rosters difficult. The roster that they were presented with a month ago was drastically different than the one for the game against IMG Academy. The spokesperson said, adding that a more scrutinized look within 10 days was likely necessary. A normal vetting process includes research into the coaching staff, a cross-check of the roster with recruiting rankings, the previous year's schedules, and upcoming seasons. So they didn't check anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like it was even that big of a deal. It sounds like that the announcers and everybody were making a huge deal out of it, which is what in turn made it a story.
Right.
Well, this could have happened before, right?
Well, I'm sure it probably has.
Well, what's odd is that
20-year relationship, they're setting up the games, and you mean to tell me this is the first time that something like this has happened? I don't believe that.
In a day and age where you could find out what someone makes, where they live, what their house sold for last year.
Oh, yeah. They said that they, after halfway through, I guess, the football game,
the story,
they were looking up the website, and half of the information is just almost a blank website. The About Us and the staff pages on the site are blank.
Well, hold on. Ours was like that for a good 5 years. I mean, Well,
I'm just surprised.
Total made their Google's page.
I'm surprised nobody, even the high school kids themselves, because they're all proficient with Google and searching. None of them said, I've never even heard of this school.
They probably just show up for the game, right?
I'm sure you guys would all agree that during this time of a virus, that schools are extremely organized, maybe even more organized than they've ever been, and easy to get all of the information that you need at a touch of a button. Wait, that's actually the exact opposite of that. That's what I'm saying. It's this is the perfect time for something like this to happen. Everything's up in the air. The goalpost is changing here, changing there. This changes, that changes. It's completely possible for these coaches to say, "Oh, who we playing? Oh, that switch. Oh, it's this guy's. Okay." And then they just don't look into it.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's what happened, because if anybody looked into it, they'd be like, "This is not a real team. We're not showing up."
It's like you and I showing up and go, "Who's this week's weird job?" It's
Paragon dropped the ball.
Yeah, it just seems like. I know I just say that all the time.
But it's high school sports. We're not talking about the NFL. We're talking about just guys that don't want to do their jobs.
I just figured
it's televised though. It should be you'd actually do some marketing, because if you're selling advertising for this, you should do some due diligence.
Well, that's another weird thing. It's it's a televised game that's going to be on ESPN. That's got to be a semi big deal for the kids and coaches.
You think so?
You'd think they would coaches do research on other teams and watch film or watch what they're does this team play the Wildcat or whatever the hell
Your idea of it all being some sort of more complicated inside job is a better story though. This team wanted to play. They wanted to pull off the world's most perfect, almost lighthearted sports prank or something. That's a better story.
Well, I think that this all was for a prank, right? Or was it for the marketing of the online school?
Why are you looking at me? This ain't my segment.
Okay. I'm just wondering what the intention was.
Because the guys in trouble, the head coach that lied to Paragon is Roy Johnson.
Paragon is the people that find
fraud.
They make the matchups.
Yeah. They make the matchups. They're not the school.
Right.
Gotcha. But they weren't in on it at all.
No, they
didn't know.
They messed up and did not do the research into the school.
So the school was in on. But what was the school's intention? Just to market themselves, or to
Great question.
Was it to play a prank or to market themselves?
I don't know. These type of
things. Well, this guy already has open investigations against him for fraud, so there was probably some kind of money.
He sounds like a Sammy the Bull, and what I mean by that, it sounds like these guys that just they're career criminal. This guy's going to be doing this until he's gone.
We had a guy at Cypress that was our freshman basketball coach, and he would put people on the team that should not be there. They were the rich kids, and I think he was getting money from the parents.
That was every one of our sports teams, EJ. What are you talking about? They were all rich kids.
EJ, you played high school.
Well, there was
I mean, at my school,
that deserved to be there, and there was kids
baseball
that
players,
definitely should have been there.
Definitely baseball players, lacrosse players, all the rich kids.
You played high school football, and I know it's not as important unless you're in Texas or whatever. Even high school sports in Florida.
Florida's kind of big, yeah.
But it's the coaches still prepare for their
Correct.
proponents,
And they take it very seriously.
Oh yeah,
that's
we
why.
watch film. But
that's why I think
watched
you're
film in high school. Yeah.
Well, that's why I think that your original. I was giving you a compliment. I think your original idea of this being some elaborate, like work,
the other school must
that
have known
makes sense
too.
to me because I don't know any of my friends that are my age that coach their kids or other kids in high school. I got a couple buddies that help out, right? They take it very seriously. There would be no tomfoolery.
They prepare.
They probably thought it was the easy win, and that's why they took it, because they knew this team is unorganized.
That's a good theory.
They're a well-oiled machine. It's a powder puff game. You
That's a
win
good
at
theory.
the very beginning of the season, and it's probably the easiest game on your schedule. That's
Why
they
look
took
into it if you're assuming it's the worst team? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose against the worst team. What if they're going to do something?
No,
What if
they were gonna lose
it's
to that
what if
team.
it's considered laughable bad? You know what I mean?
But they were laughably bad. Like the announcers were saying during the game, this is not a fair fight. They were getting stumped like 58-0 in the third quarter.
Well, what I'm saying is they're not even a real football team, so there's no even footage on the internet of them even playing. So there's no way you
That's
could
the
even.
reason why they couldn't watch film or do the diligence of the coaches for the Florida school.
Wouldn't that be like, why is there no any existence of these people ever playing? Something's wrong here.
Well, that goes
It
back
could be
to
a new school though,
Yeah,
because they got all these transfers. Because
Okay.
IMG Academy also recruits their players from all over Florida to come to the school.
Yeah, you might want
so
the
you might
easy
not have
win.
film for any of those players either.
Yeah, that makes sense, EJ.
They're even saying it's like it is a mystery to them how it even happened. The school's not listed in the directory of Ohio High School Athletic Association. They know that the team exists,
fantastic.
and they know that they played a season last season, and it was the start of its second year. But that is all that they knew about the school, and they
They
still
went
televised
0-6
it.
last season.
Are we super suspicious as a society, or totally aloof, don't pay attention?
A little
Because
bit of both.
I think there's no middle, right? I think it's both on either side. It's like you have the
Yeah.
people that are skeptics for everything, and then you have the people that just don't care about anything
True.
and just let it roll.
But it's hard to get all those people in as a group. There's usually one Samantha that would be like, wait a minute, I'm going to look at these, the coach.
You're missing one big important part. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a big, gigantic don't care in the center of that somewhere there that people, just like, I don't care.
Yeah, I guess it's these things drive me crazy because
I know
I'm like,
they do.
it doesn't fit with normal human behavior and something's off. Like, if I know football coaches and stuff, it's like, yeah, they could have thought it was an easy win, but some adult would have been like, hey, I don't want to be made a fool out of. Like, if we play like a bunch of people that don't even know how to play football,
You
we
prepare
look
for things,
stupid.
though. You're a really good preparer.
But coaches are too.
For this show, like for anything that you and I have ever had to do, whether it be a presentation or hosting an awards banquet, hosting anything, you over prepare, right? It's just you're not going to understand it.
Yeah. All right. Next story, EJ.
Okay, definitely we're going to talk about Cam Newton. Got cut this morning from the Patriots.
Just saw that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, but I heard the new guy's been kind of doing quite well, has he not?
Yeah, Mac Jones, the guy from Alabama. He's actually pretty good.
So
He looks good at starting most of the time.
Immediately when I heard this, I jumped on my bookie site and I looked at the first game to see what that will do because I believe it was New England -3 or 2.5 or something around there. Anyway, so they took it off. So that tells me they're like, we need to reformat what this line should be with Mac Jones starting. And I would want to bet on the Dolphins now just because this is a weird move for Belichick.
It
because
is.
Belichick has always been known for taking advantage of rookie quarterbacks. Like in the gambling world, I hear it all the time. People are like, if Belichick is playing a rookie QB his first year, if it's his first start, bet New England because he knows how to mess with that rookie QB, what to do that throws him off or to pressure him the right way or
throw the coverages differently, splits him more than usual.
Take away the run, make him throw because he knows that a rookie QB is going to be less confident or not want to make those really risky throws. Anyway, and I heard a bunch of people talking all year. They're like, oh yeah, Belichick's starting Cam. He's going to make the transition just like everybody else. Mac Jones played really well in preseason, had really impressive drives. People were talking really highly of him. And the last thing I heard before they made this announcement is like, oh yeah, Mac Jones is going to start earlier than we think. But people were still pretty confident that Cam Newton's going to start just because he knows the system. And it's like, why start your first draft first round draft pick in the year you drafted him, without getting him ready or whatever.
Now,
I mean, Belichick obviously knows better than anybody that.
So who's the backup now?
I don't know who's the backup to Mac Jones. Well, he still got
because we got Falcons picked up Rosen, which I thought was odd.
New England still got that backup they've had for years. God, it's who came in.
Drew Bledsoe.
No, what? God, I forgot his name. It's the backup that played when Cam Newton was out for COVID and stuff.
Somebody in the chat room will know it.
And
it's impossible to keep track of all these players.
They all change so much.
But anyway, this is going to be interesting. And something new that we haven't seen from the Patriots as far as like they spent a bunch of money on the offseason.
Jarrett Stidham?
Stidham, yeah. Stidham. And
Stidham, I hardly know him.
They spent a lot of money in free agency, and they usually don't do that. Starting a rookie QB his first year, that's weird too. So it's like
you got football fever, buddy.
Well, I like the storylines now because I know all the teams because I've listened to and consumed so much of the stuff that the storylines now interest me. Even now beyond gambling, which I'm still most interested in. But I do now enjoy seeing who wins and stuff, even though if I don't have any money on it. The storylines of how the coaches are doing, the players and stuff interest me now.
Yeah. Plus, we got to be really careful because we got the Gill Team League too. Everything's important right now.
I'm excited about that too. Yeah, I took a pretty average team in that, but by design. We'll see how it works out for me.
So now I know this is not one of your topics, but I want to discuss with you real quick Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
they have Dallas in the opener,
yeah, Dallas in the opener, and Dak Prescott is
he going to be back for the opener, or is he still?
They said
did they say he's back?
Well, from what I've heard, Hard Knocks plays tonight, but everybody assumes that Dak will play week 1. He's not going to play any preseason. They announced that, and that's a tough week 1 game against Tampa, and that team all coming back. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is what I want to talk about because everybody, even the smart gambling analysts, talk about how good Tampa is because they re-signed everybody. And the logic is Tom Brady just got better. He knows the offense more. He's got more familiar. But there is, and he's
also coming off knee surgery, though.
Coming off knee surgery.
I always bet on that guy.
And
I had like a Tebow with talent.
I had to be reminded about he did not have a good playoffs. Tom Brady did not play very well in the playoffs.
I'm not even going to play that game. It doesn't matter.
Now, he did have a hurt knee, and there's that, but it's like everybody's expecting, and on paper, the Tampa Bay Bucks look amazing. And everything about the team looks amazing as far as like they're, the national champions coming back with the entire roster and only more experience together, right? So I think their season win total is up to 11 and a half now, something like that. So everybody's real high on them, but EJ, is there a bigger component of luck than anybody factors in a lot of this, and the fact that on paper, like NBA teams, I've mentioned this before, they have a longer, you have way more games. So the better roster statistically will come out ahead when you're playing such an amount of games. Like, right? And the same thing with baseball.
That's just averages.
They talk about like the more the games you play, because luck happens and good teams lose all the time, but over a big enough sample
roster
set
will way heavier.
Yes, And so
100%.
with I know there's 17 games now, but it's still the NFL season's small.
It's short, dude.
And it's short. Yeah. And it's like I still think like bad luck happens, ball bounces this way, that way, fumbles happen, injuries happen.
Well, it's a good thing it's short because Tom Brady's old. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
And that's what I mean is a lot of those guys, they're really, really good, but they're only good for a short period of time.
But is there a big possibility of regression here? And just because they have this all-star, talent and roster, and everybody's back, and you got Tom Brady, can we see the ball bounce the other way, and will we see a little bit of regression?
I want to, but I don't think so.
The pure talent.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think usually it's the losing team of the Super Bowl that regresses the most. Like the Chiefs, I don't see them regressing as much as usually, but them re-signing everybody and keeping it as long as Brady stays healthy and his knees are good. I see them probably matching last year's totals, probably.
That's the popular opinion with everybody in like not only the Joes out there, the public, but also the analysts that know what they're doing and know what they're saying. But for whatever reason, I want to go against it and just be like, man, I feel like they're,
that's risk versus reward if you're going to bet on it. So that's the reason why you do it. If it gives you 10,000 odds to 1, you take it, right?
Now let me help you out here
because there's multiple plays that Tampa couldn't have even made the Super Bowl.
Let me help you out here then, because you did this last year where you get a feeling and you get an idea, and then when it comes time to bet it, you don't. And then we go weeks down the road, and we're sitting around week 13 or 14, right? And we're doing another Nerd Jock, and you're like, I should have done it. I'm just going to say now, like, if this is the way you want to go.
Put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
Well, I mean, that's a nice way of saying it. I was going to just fully support you in reminding you that you need to do it now so you don't forget. Because you will forget, and then you won't do it, and then you'll be kicking yourself later saying,
"Can you put money that they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl?" I know that's a bet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you just bet under their season win total. That's the easiest way. And I think their odds right now for them to make the Super Bowl is plus 600. You can't really bet for a team not to make the Super Bowl because the odds are they won't make it. You know what I'm saying?
If that were the case, I'd bet on the Falcons right now.
I mean, there's guaranteed.
Well, you could bet on every other team though that they will make the Super Bowl, and that's about the same odds, right? If it averages out.
Well, you could, not every team, but yeah, I see what they factor all that in the line. So you're not really going to outsmart the books in the math department. Yeah. But you can bet under the season win total. And I know a lot of Tampa Bay fans, they will bet even money, and they'll probably bet me under 12 wins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They'll go a half point up because they so believe in Tampa.
What is Tampa now?
I'll take advantage of their
11.5?
Think about their division. They got Atlanta.
Is it 12
they got
now?
New Orleans with Jameis Winston as their quarterback now, which throwing interceptions like crazy again probably. And you got Carolina.
I heard some smart people really like New Orleans and don't really factor in
Is he going to fit?
The insane interceptions and play that off like anomaly. A lot of interceptions are anomaly. A lot of them are just bad throws.
It becomes a completely different team, though. He's a lot more mobile, right?
But they take the coach, Sean Payton, and
plus they still got Taysom Hill. He'll probably take a bunch of snaps, too. I think it's going to be a dual quarterback system.
You think so?
I think so. I think that Jameis Winston gets to start, and he runs the normal offense, but they're going to put Taysom Hill a lot because they gave him a lot of money.
The bad part of all this, and a real big sign, is the fact that Michael Thomas decided to get his surgery he needed right before the season started, which tells me he knows that the team is bad.
That's what I thought.
And he's mad about it, and he knows that Jameis Winston is not good.
He also looks like a robot man, Michael Thomas. He looks like a robot man.
And he said, screw it, I'll get my surgery later and not put so much stress on my body, sit out the first 6 weeks.
It seemed like to me like if we had to do something here that I didn't want to do, and then you're like, come on, we're doing it. I'm like, I gotta poop.
Yeah. It's a tell.
It seemed like I got a poop scenario.
Yeah. And a lot of times
I do that trick too.
Yeah, it's just like if you don't want to do it, if Andrew's like, we're bringing the groceries up the stairs, I'm like, I got to poop.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm going to go get my surgery.
All the analysts and all the BS reports and ESPN and all these people saying their opinions doesn't, like, I'll look at Michael Thomas, who plays on the team,
the guy.
and then they're like, hey, he opted to take his surgery last minute and sit out a lot of weeks. He couldn't have, he could have actually done this a lot earlier.
It's insider trading at this point.
It's like
and so you're looking at that and you're like, well, he knows the team isn't going to be good. So I know now.
It's like Roy Kent on Ted Lasso when he's sitting on the pundits, all the soccer, the EPL pundits. He's sitting there. They're asking, what do you think's going to happen? He's like, I don't effing know what's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet. And we just sit up here flapping our effing gum. It's just, look at Michael Thomas. What's he doing? He's in it.
Yeah. He opted out. So, not good. Anyway.
Should we nerd?
Yeah, what else?
I'm looking at the time. We got 12 minutes for nerd.
Two stories of Ronaldo going to Man United and Nebraska beating Illinois.
Hey, look, as an Arsenal fan, it hurts my stomach, especially after the last loss Arsenal had 5-0. I mean, come on, dude. We looked the worst we've ever looked. Wenger in, Arteta out. There's my statement on that. But for Manchester United fans, and I'm not from England, so I'm allowed to say this, I'm happy for you guys. I think what a great story to have the guy in there. I love it when the story is like, oh, he's coming home, and and I like seeing these guys kind of navigate the play space between these epic clubs. Like when you could bounce from like, your Barcelonas and your Real Madrids to like a Man U to a PSG. That's insane. That's like that'd be like if you were a quarterback in the NFL and you were on Kansas City and won a Super Bowl, and then you floated over to to Dallas and won a Super Bowl.
Like that,
and then you went over to Pittsburgh and won a Super Bowl. You're going to the big clubs and winning. That's crazy, dude.
But as far as making the analogy of a quarterback, like let's say Tom Brady leaves New England, goes to Tampa, surrounded by a great roster, wins the Super Bowl, right? But for a soccer player, can you have an impact if you are just really knowledgeable about the game and a good game manager, a good leader, as much as a quarterback? One single player.
I think it's a perfect analogy. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
he's the quarterback. He's the captain. He's the guy. He's got the energy. He knows what to say to you when you're down. He knows what to say to you when you're too up.
So on-field coaching.
Yeah,
and he can do that.
I feel like these guys do that, and that's something that we've never really talked about. I don't think most people, because it's not exciting to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I do think that. Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think what these guys have, like a Messi and a Ronaldo, I think they have that on-field awareness. They see things that other guys don't see. They know. Just by being there, they're going to be in the correct position all the time, which is going to make it easier for you to be in the correct position all the time.
With ball placement and assists. And
how to run the system, and just scoring. Sometimes
player spacing, all that stuff. Yeah.
In soccer, a lot of times you can have strikers that when they get the ball, they just can't score. This guy is not that guy. He's the guy that, he always scores.
Yeah. Free kicks and things like that is like he's
magical. I mean, and it's kind of cool. It's like one of those LeBron stories where it's like coming home. That's cool, man. And I'm happy for my Manchester. Like Fernando, massive. He and his bro are big Manchester United fans. I'm happy for those guys.
Is he worth like a point or a half point in like soccer? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Some play
I don't know how to bet soccer. It's too crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
I don't know how to bet. You teach me how to bet. I don't know what.
I don't know. I don't know soccer.
Too scary.
I only know NFL football.
It's like the NBA. I don't understand. The NBA is too scary too. What's next?
Okay, let's go into nerd stuff. I got this topic for Sam. Have you seen Disney's annual pass pricing that they're going to plan to do coming up?
Don't bring it up. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a
Are
little.
you guys sponsored by Disney? Should I be careful about what I say?
It's just.
I wish we had money from the mouse.
It is a little disappointing. Oh, look.
They'll never sponsor us.
I mean,
you could say anything horrible.
If they're interested, I mean, we're here, but.
They don't need us.
But it's a little clunky. It's a little money.
It seems like surprising.
They just don't want people to go there anymore.
They don't want pass holders because we don't make them the most money. Tourists do.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Well, basically the way that they've skewed them, and Sam, if you could find the graphic, kind of because
it's like $1,400 for like no blackout dates. Like if you want to go whenever you want to go, you still have to reserve it before you go. Right. But it's like $1,400. If not, you're going to have blackout dates during the holidays or like weekends. Like, the cheapest ticket is what, $600?
There's now 14 separate tiers. Anywhere the highest one is $1,300 plus tax, of course. And it doesn't have blackout dates, but you do only are able to hold up to 5 park reservations at a time. So it's still not the same as the annual passes used to be before, where you could literally just go like, hey, you know what? I'm getting out of work in an hour. I'm going to go to Disney. You can't do that anymore. Like that's not a thing anymore. The water park passes are no longer included. The photo passes are no longer included. All those are now separate prices. And then the lowest one they have is $3.99 plus tax, but then it's a ton of blackout dates plus everything else you have to pay for. And I don't even think parking is on that one.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean, it's not. They don't.
Yeah,
I'm out.
And like now they're changing the fast pass to like a genie pass where it has surge pricing. Like if there's a lot of people in the park, you have to pay even more to get on.
Yeah,
the
it's $15 per day per pass.
Yeah, I'm not nickel and diming myself. I'll just wait until it changes again and maybe decide if I want to go again.
It seems like it'll probably just change up again, right? Like when has prices ever gone down for Disney tickets?
Never.
So like,
never.
They'll probably just be, 5 years from now.
They're making up for lost time.
Yeah.
And like Samantha said,
pricing.
they'd rather have tourists.
Disneyland has already implemented some of these things over the past few years anyways, because you're right. When people have families and they come travel here, they stay on property, they spend more money, they bring their whole family, so they're going to pay more in food. Like the pass holders, we know the tips and tricks, right? We bring our own food and drinks because you can. Tourists don't know that, so they're in there buying everything, food, drinks, snacks, all that stuff. That's where they make their money, so they don't care about the pass holders.
And the pass holders are the worst customers for them because you guys are...
We'll go there for an hour and leave.
I swing out there, I have one
money.
$8 beer and go home.
Yeah.
Right.
Or bringing your own flask and
Absolutely.
doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
I write my name with my own feces in the bathroom. No, I don't.
We saw the writing on the wall. This was going to happen eventually.
Hey, good pun.
But it's only going to get worse,
Said
guys.
Daniel, real big.
Okay, the other
and I
story
just
have,
renewed like 2 months ago.
Good thing you did renew.
Yeah,
there.
I got grandfathered in. If you have to renew soon, I do it now before the September 8th.
that's when the
that's when it changes.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Okay, the next story I have is you guys used to play Grand Theft Auto 5, right?
Yeah.
I played it.
So this guy on a German game show came out of the crowd and interrupted the whole show to ask the host of the show, "Where's Grand Theft Auto 6? I've been waiting 8 years." And the host is like, "I have nothing to do with that. Why are you asking me this?" It's called the name of the show is Schlag den Star, and the host is like, I think he works for Take-Two, which is the company that owns Rockstar, who does that. He thinks it was a publicity stunt, but I don't know. Maybe he's just a crazy fan in the audience. What do you think, Tom?
I think publicity stunt because, I mean, we're due, right? Aren't we due?
But
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
But also,
the
fact that they showed it tells me that the video game company paid this TV company to do this, and it was a publicity stunt for not only does it get shared around and go viral on the internet, but because there's no way that any...
What if it was live?
Yeah, but you'd be tackled by some production assistant or like
all of that stuff's pretty pre-planned. You know, like
if an audience member starts running up to Drew Carey on, you know what I'm saying?
The Price is Right.
Even if it's their live episode, he'd be tackled by,
because when it happens live, it's very scary. Like for instance, last night I'm watching the news bloopers, and there was that one about the guy who's covering the hurricane in New Orleans.
Yeah.
My God, just
That's terrible.
Putting some love out to you guys right now. But the newscaster standing there, and a irate man, fake newsman, comes running up there and
jumps out of his SUV.
Jumps out of his SUV, starts running at the guy, and then the man they immediately, just like Tom says, they immediately come back to the newscaster, and he goes,
whoa,
right, like that. It was very very scary.
And if you're the host of the game show, and some random, if it really was random, audience member starts running up on stage or coming up to you, you're definitely getting the hell out of there, because the first thing you're thinking of is like, this guy's gonna kill me.
This guy's got a gun.
So they staged it just so the guy, and I'm sure like the host didn't act. I mean, can we watch it?
He didn't send me the link.
I think so. I didn't send you a link because I wasn't sure, because I think it's in German. I'm afraid of any customers.
That's fine. Yeah, it's all right. We'll go look it up.
I've been paranoid about sending you guys with bad words in the clips, because there's another fight in the stands at another preseason game. No, it was at the Paul fight.
There was a bunch of fights in the audience
in
for
the
that.
Stands,
yeah.
Old Jake Paul versus, what was the guy's name?
Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
So
forgot to bring that up.
I mean, nowadays all this fake, they're all
everything's fake.
They're all trying to get viral videos out there, and so the marketing companies are, figuring out a way to fake stuff so it goes viral and they get free publicity from it, because it's the freest publicity if you have a viral video and just gets shared around the internet.
Yeah.
You hit the lottery of marketing. So everybody's just trying to do that, and it's all a bunch of the same thing they do at the halftime show of basketball games, like the
Will you marry me? No.
Yeah. That fat guy
I saw a
falls
breakup
nachos.
at a minor league softball game, a minor league baseball game. The guy broke up with the girl on the jumbotron during the 7th inning stretch.
Fake.
Yeah. EJ, that's what we're talking about. It's all fake garbage.
Everybody's talking about that video, those two little boys at the Little League World Series that are sitting in the infield, and then they show, you saw it, right? It was on SportsCenter. They're showing a picture of a woman with big boobs on her Like they're showing each other a picture on their phone, and the one little kid's like, "Oh, like that fake." It's all fake. All this stuff is fake. Anything that you look at that is a video that is in public around a bunch of people, and if something spontaneous happens, it's fake.
So you believe in the observer effect because we're watching it? It's probably fake.
Also, I have a theory about marketing, like internal marketing in like sports.
That's what I call sex with my wife.
All those people that are in like the marketing department of all these teams, they just wanted to get into sports, and they were forced over to marketing because they wanted to be around sports. So they're not that good at marketing.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my, hold on a second. It's sports doctors are not the best doctors because they wanted to be sports guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is terrible.
All these people that work in like for like major league or professional sports teams, they all wanted to be in sports first. And then it's kind of like radio. Like everybody in the marketing department of radio
wanted to be a DJ.
They all wanted to be a DJ.
And that's also why they hate the DJs.
And so they're all, I'm sorry to say, they're all lazy and don't care. Like, and the
this is not going to go well.
The people in the marketing department of all the
Samantha, don't laugh at this. This is me he's talking about now.
All any professional sports team, their marketing department.
You became an old man there for a second.
Sorry.
You were like, ha, ha, ha.
They're all, I'm just saying, not the best at marketing.
Because it wasn't their original passion.
So they just come up with a fake engagement. Hey, I got it. We'll do this thing where we do a race in the 7th inning stretch, and then the fan, it looks like he's going to win, then he's going to fall down and the freeze beats up, and people are going to go crazy.
No, we're actually going to have like one of the characters pretend beat up the
man. Fake. Yeah, the mask, anything the mascots do with a fake fan, it's all fake.
We'll give you 2 hot dogs and 2 ice cold Cokes.
It's all the Meathead marketing department that they're all
good business name. Meathead marketing
that come up with stupid ideas.
I guess the last one I can talk about is did you watch the prequel Witcher series that's on Netflix? It's called the Nightmare of the Wolf.
I have yet to watch. Dan? No, I have not watched the prequel.
It's good. It's very good.
Okay, is it long? Like how many episodes?
No, it's like an hour and a half.
Oh, it's it's like a movie prequel.
It's just one movie, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch it.
And it's all about Geralt's the
animated series,
like
right?
his teacher. Yeah, it's animated. It's animated. Yeah.
Into it.
Are there cartoon boobs?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm watching it.
In.
Yeah, thank you. I knew Sam would be. Sam's as horny as I am. I don't know if you know this. She might even be hornier.
I'll watch the cartoon boobs. I mean,
we did find out he did like the tunes, remember?
Dude.
Yeah.
Red Letter Day. This week has been amazing. This guy tells some guy online in our BDM group that he loves him, and next thing you know, he's watching cartoons. What's happening to you?
I said I love you guys in a broad, like, hey, I love you guys. I was like, I love you. I'm in love with you.
You said I'm in lust with you.
No, I said I love you guys. It's one of like everybody's like, oh,
you said you had a thirst for this man that could not be quenched.
I saw Cool World when I was 13, and from then on out, I like tunes.
Sexual
I like tune boobs.
Oh, Tom's gonna get into hentai. Oh my god,
hentai.
Marge,
Lois
Griffin.
Yeah, I know it.
You know what I don't like about Marge? You know what I don't like about Marge? 2 words. Blue pubes.
Smooth.
Tom goes,
yeah. It's fine.
It's not fine.
You didn't have to.
You didn't have to put the pubes, but I guess they were trying to show that she's like an old lady or a MILF,
and
right?
it's never with Homer. It's always
with Bart, which is
with
crazy.
Lisa.
And got a strap on.
And like, I don't need the taboo. Like, you know.
And don't put Mo in there. He's ugly. And don't put Flanders in there because everybody
Chief
knew.
Wiggum.
No, Wiggum's too fat.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see Wiggum.
The Irish janitor.
Willie.
Dougal.
Yeah. He's ripped. I've seen him.
He's Scottish. He's Scottish.
Oh, Scottish. Sorry. Whatever.
He's Scottish.
All right, EJ, we got to get the hell out of here. What do you got to promote?
I know. Oh, we're going to talk about, we talked about MyCon. My wife sold 800 tickets for MyCon.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
And it was, dude, so many people there. It was crazy.
Congratulations.
Like, I was in the game room most of the day. Oh, but my wife was distributing something. I probably shouldn't say it. I'm gonna get in trouble if I say that. Never mind. I'll tell you guys later.
My wife is distributing methamphetamine. I'm the one who knocks.
I mean, that's awesome that she was able to, like,
She
start
grew this from scratch.
Yeah.
Dude.
When you told us originally about this, I thought, no way this works. Like, I would have bet my foot.
It's not me put it together. It's my wife. She's put together.
I know, but the
Yeah,
fact
but
that
we
she
thought it was
married
you.
you,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know her that well, and I'm like, well, she married. The only math I had is like she married
Yeah.
EJ, and that knocking her
God,
down.
if
the
my
peg.
con's anything like their marriage.
yeah. Like, she couldn't put together a huge thing like this, but she did.
But it's really cool,
Congratulations.
man. The whole family was
Yeah,
out.
thank
It's like a family business now. I think that's very cool.
Yeah. Well, Dan, do you want to come with me to Miami then, since Tom's not going to come?
I would like
Well, I didn't even
to
say.
text me. Text me. I'll figure it out because
Okay.
I don't know what Andrea's plans are. But yeah, text me. We'll figure it out.
October 23rd it is.
All right, buddy.
NC State. All right, talk to you later.
Yep. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Be good. There is EJ live from the where is he? In his janitor's closet.
I will bet my foot Daniel doesn't go with you.
No, I will never do
No,
that.
yeah.
No, I mean I'll ask, but it would be the long car ride. Not because it's EJ. It's just I don't necessarily want to be stuck in a car for hours, 4 hours, 3 hours.
Plus, you're watching UM play. You don't even care.
Not even a fan. Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler is here. And we are streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can just go to Twitch and search Tom and Dan Live and find our replays Monday through Friday. This stream is replayed on YouTube. Just search Tom and Dan Live.
So this week on the BDM show, and if you want to hear those shows, you have to be BDM, subscribe at tomandan.com. We do a BDM show only, and we put it out for podcast and on Facebook Live in the BDM only Facebook page. So you got to be BDM to be involved with it. So
We were telling some boating tales.
Yeah.
And I actually got an email from a lifelong BDM. He said he's sick of your boat tales.
okay.
I put it in Sam's
Okay.
email. But we'll handle
Fine.
that.
The boating is
We're
hot.
going to handle that on Friday. He said he can't take
I'm
it.
done.
This guy said he can't take it anymore.
That's fine. I will say nothing. Anyway, so Seth wants to go down to St. Pete and take his boat down there. He doesn't have a truck, and he asked to borrow my truck.
Now, for those of you that may or may not pop in and out of conversation, Seth bought a boat, kind of sight unseen, with a wad full of cash, and it's bigger than your boat, right?
What is this, 24? I think it's 24 foot. Yeah,
think
it's
it's a
2 feet
24.
bigger, and it's
Tall.
way more expensive. Yeah, like
Massive.
newer. Anyway, so he wants to borrow my truck. He's like, hey, let's switch cars. I need a truck to pull the boat down there. I'll give you my, Hellcat with the blood painted on it for you to
Yes.
drive around. And then I always want to agree to everything and just be like, let's do it. I mean, there's a little bit of a show aspect to it. And then also I want to impress my sons, and I don't really care about
Well, you've always been this way.
someone borrowing my stuff.
Well, even when I was working through this radio station with Gibson Truck World, I would get these trucks, and there were times when you didn't have a truck anymore and you needed a truck and you'd want to borrow one of my trucks, and I would allow you, but it would always make me highly uneasy.
Yeah.
Like, I would be kind of weirded out by it, and I would do it just to try and impress you and make you my friend. It never worked, but we did start a business together.
So I am all about it. And then my wife, she went through an experience where the Grizz brother crashed her truck, and then her insurance
But
went
that's her,
up.
dude.
and
That's not you.
Yeah. So
Live your life, lady.
so
That's what I say.
She's always like, don't lend your car to anybody, because if they crash it, your insurance will go up and it'll be on
What a
you.
selfish thing to say.
Well, that's true though. Some mistake, and I talked to Seth. Seth's like, I'll pay the deductible if it gets, if I crash it. And then I'm like, well, am I going to have horrible insurance? Anyway, so since we have an insurance
All
sponsor,
insurance is the same, is what I've heard.
Go to the professionals.
I have no idea how it works, but Jamie does. Jamie Hoover from Blanchard Insurance.
Blanchard?
One of our sponsors is on the line. How you doing, Jamie?
Hi, guys. Good. How are you?
Good.
So how much did we get wrong, Jamie?
Well, first,
Actually, you're pretty right, but keep going.
okay, so my question to you, Jamie, is Seth wants to borrow my truck to drive his boat down to St. Pete. And then he's going to lend me or, give me his car
His
for use
muscle
for the
car, his
weekend.
sports car.
And so we're going to be driving around each other's cars. Now, I'm more worried about him getting in an accident because he's trailering a boat.
Yeah, he's towing something.
All the way down I-4, and I'm not only the launching the boat and all that, I'm worried about him changing lanes on I-4 and someone flipping the car. There's lots of bad things that could happen because he's not used to trailering a boat. So
this will actually be a second time. I want to throw that out there.
And I want to do it, but my wife keeps crowing at me that Seth's going to get in an accident and it's going to raise our insurance and we're going to be screwed for the next 7 years.
Just drive without insurance.
So what is the deal with lending your car to someone else?
So I would say it's okay with anybody but Seth. Just kidding.
You're probably right.
You get a presto trip, Jamie.
No. So this is the way that it works. It goes, the insurance follows the car, not the person. So in that regard, if he's in an accident, it's going to follow your insurance because it's your car. So, and those claims can stay on your record for 3 to 5 years. So your wife is right with the risk of that happening. So as insurance is following the car, if it's a permissive user, it's allowed, unless he's going to rob a bank or something or commit some felony at the same time, everything should be fine. But if he does get in an accident, that could follow your record for the next 5 years because it's your vehicle, your claim, your company that has to pay that out. So that's how that works.
So no matter...
So it is high risk. It's not like he's just driving around town and you're switching cars for the day because he's moving some stuff for his apartment. He's pulling, like you said, he's pulling a boat down I-4 at the ramp, when he gets there, all of these other things that can happen, as we've all seen the boat ramp, stories and memes. So
does it help if it's slam-packed with drunk people on Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, that makes it great. That makes it so much less risk, and also that it's Labor Day weekend. So yeah, you've got to. Why don't you just drive him? You should just drive him.
That's not a bad idea. Sometimes the things that are high risk, it's high risk, high reward, is what I say.
Yeah, but what's the reward?
Now, would it help? Like if I get the call, like let's say it's Sunday, I get a call. He's like,
it'd be like around 7 o'clock. I feel like it'd be like late afternoon.
He's like, I crashed your truck, and there's this guy, whatever. Can I immediately get in his Hellcat and drive it into
the ocean,
or wherever,
like down the ramp? Yes, I would. Definitely.
An eye for an eye, right?
Just drive it straight into the St. John's.
To put the parking brake on and back it right down the ramp.
Just windows down and drive it into the St. John's and just swim out the window.
But I'd have to drive it into someone else because most likely Seth's going to get an accident, then that person's going to sue my insurance agency, and it's going to be a huge thing.
You just have to leave the country.
So I have to crash into another person with Seth's car for it to be equal. Yeah. I can't just drive.
You have to crash into the same person
or the same age and race person.
And all this will be fine. He will be fine, and you will have a problem in his car. So just watch.
Yeah, because it's a sports car. Is there any difference in the fact that it's like a specialty high horsepower sports car?
I would just say that for his particular car, I would have a lot more coverage on it because it is a sports car.
What if I crash his car and he has no insurance? Who does it go to? Does it go to me?
Yes, it can come back onto you and then your insurance company, because I have heard of that happening before. And then you're paying for that for the next 5 years.
Oh God! And Tom's been having these fainting spells behind the wheel. He's gonna be like an old man right through a fruit stand.
So
it's a risk anytime you let somebody else drive your car. I mean, one way or another, it's a risk.
Is there any way for me to protect myself? Like, can I
put a condom on?
Can I add him?
But they don't feel good.
Or is there anything that I could do preemptively to my insurance that protects me more? If I were
pump it up, you will pump it up,
or just like add his name.
So you're gonna call? You think that you could call up Jamie and go, "Hey, put an extra hundo on it this month"?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering if
pump it up.
If I just add him to my policy, that therefore negates the.
Therefore negates.
No, it's still going to be in your name too, and then it also has to be in the registered owner's name.
See, and you put your wig on to say that therefore negates.
Jamie, what you're telling me.
I'd love to tell you it's a great idea, again, it sounds like a great party. So
That's
let
what
him
he
go
wants,
do that,
Jamie.
but
Jamie, just tell
you're
him what he
questioning
wants.
Hold on,
it.
Jeff. I knew it wasn't a great idea. Like, I'm not that stupid. Like, I knew, but I thought that people are being overly precautious, like my wife, where she's like, "Don't do that. This could hinder us for the next 5 years." And I'm like, "Ah, come on, it's not that bad."
What's 5 years in a virus? I mean, a rocket pie. I mean, it'll be gone before you know it.
Yeah. So,
Well, and it used to be that this stuff just stayed on your record for 3 years, and now it's 5 years, and it just seems to be
Who
getting longer
did
and longer.
that?
So it could definitely follow you for a long time.
now I did mention this to Seth, where I brought up the concern. He did call me a wussy, but not using those words,
well,
and then
let's
said,
be kind to
I'm,
Jamie.
I'm being scared for nothing, and he's never gotten an accident ever, which I
That's
doubted.
not true.
Which I
No,
doubted.
that's not true. He wrecked one of those scooters with Butler when they were out drinking one night, and the cops pulled him over.
Yeah, well, he said car accident, which I still don't believe. You know
don't
what I'm saying?
believe that either.
And how am I going to prove it? Can you look up someone's driving record, Jamie?
I believe you can, yeah.
Is it public?
I don't know
record?
I don't think so. I think that you'd have to probably go through the DMV. And
I have a website that I go to that I can
Hold
get
on.
porn stars' real names.
Well, I know,
for an amount of money, you can get anything, but
Well, I know
it's
some-
not a.
I know some BDM cops. They'll do it for me. They'll look up Seth's
exactly.
record.
They got that computer in their car.
If you're a cop listening, look up Seth's driving record and email me, and then let me know what his
if it's
record is.
good, give a pumpkin emoji. If it's bad, thumb up emoji.
All you have to do is tell him what I tell my teenage drivers. It's everybody else you have to worry about. I'm not worried about you.
No, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's a lie. I am worried directly only about Seth. I'm not even worried about anybody
Pull
else.
the adulting card. You are adulting right now. This is your insurance premium, and you want it to stay like this. So.
But James, it pains me because now you're telling me the same thing my wife told me, which tells me to not let him borrow my truck. But if I do
I
that,
know. I want to be the fun one. I'm so sorry.
You are the fun one.
but then I'm being the
Don't be the dumb old man that just says, "Tell me what I want to hear."
yeah, but then I'm the overly cautious. I hate people like that. They're just like, oh no, don't
Wait a minute. I'm like that. I knew you hated me.
no,
I knew you hated me.
no.
That's called not having an orb, Tom.
There are people that you go to their house. This happened to me one time, and he had a pool table. And then we were there's a bunch of us. We're all drunk, and we were like, "Oh, let's play some pool." And then he's like, let's. I want to keep the cover on. I want to keep it nice or whatever.
Wait a minute.
And
That's
then
the stuff I say about nice things.
And then I'm like, "Well, why do you have a
He
pool
hates you.
table?"
That's what he
and
said.
No,
you
but this
don't-
wasn't me. This must be someone else he hates.
Right, but it's the
I don't
same
hate them.
behavior.
I'm just like, come
Tell
on,
him to-
you're.
Tell him to rent that U-Haul truck for $19.95.
That's what I told him to do.
That's exactly what me and Sam said. In fact, those trucks are made for hauling stuff. They got tow package, the
Yep.
whole nine.
Yeah, but
Hey, I've seen sports cars hauling boats. Okay,
Yeah.
so just get a hitch and you're all
Yeah,
set.
Yeah, get a hitch.
But if you're the U-Haul truck at the boat ramp, everybody judges you and looks down on you and calls
Go
you a
again
nerd.
about caring about what other people think.
No, but in the boating world, if you have rent a U-Haul truck for
He's right,
$19.95
yeah.
and it's the bare stock Ford F-150 white, and
Hey, he has
and
a boat. He's at least he's out there. So who's
Yeah,
really
but then
laughing? You know.
but then
Right?
it says Alaska on
Yeah.
the side, and there's a picture of one of the native people from the country. I think it's like a young.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say Eskimo.
That's
Don't
the
say
Rentme
Eskimo. But
RV. Yeah, that's the
it says
Rentme
Red
RV.
Rocks and it gives you the
used to say-
history.
You used to be able to go like, "Oh, look, that's a cute Eskimo child." You don't say that. You say it's
Yeah.
a young native Alaskan person.
And it's written in the Ripley's Believe It or Not
Yes.
font. Why is it
Yes.
written in that font? It's
Yeah.
like, is this a page from Ripley's Believe It or Not? And also, why are you giving them free marketing? Because every time I see your trucks, I'm like, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Whatever happened to them? I'm like, I wish I had a Ripley's Believe It or Not book. That's what I think about when I see the U-Haul about the Red Rocks. Anyway, so
All he has to do is take a marker and write on the back of the window. You know, at least I have a boat and I'm going boating.
There you go.
yeah,
There you
but
go.
no, but Seth, he's got a $50,000 Thunder in Paradise boat.
It's
And,
Jamie. His boat is completely black.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it looks like the Batmobile, and it's got like
ridiculous.
It's got like blood
Well,
red.
why doesn't he have a truck?
He's building one that doesn't even work for
He's
the
building a Scout. Who there's guys in the chat room that tow all day long. There's truck drivers in there who say that a Scout's wheelbase is far too small for the weight that this boat provides. It's just a mess. It's spiraling out of control. He's losing all his money and he's doing everything he can to hold on to his teen girlfriend.
Well, I think you're going to have to drive him down here to the St. John's or to the.
Just throw him in.
You don't want to go too
drop him
brown. The St. John doo-doo water. It's not the beautiful St. Pete blue that he wants.
Yeah.
No, he's going to Redneck Island on the St. John's.
Get him, Jamie.
And you stand in doo-doo water, and it's only knee-deep. You can't see your feet. It's so
And I'll
doo-doo.
pick you and your trailer up when we're done.
I don't think I'd want to go on a clown war with Jamie. Jamie can clown.
She's good.
All right.
She's good.
So what we've learned today, Jamie, is don't loan your car out because if there's an accident, you're going to be paying for it. Even if Seth said he'll take care of my deductible, but I'm like, well, what is that, like $500? And then
But your rates will
going
go
to
up
take care of
too.
your increased premium
Right,
for the next
exactly.
5 years.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
how much could that be? Like
You'd have to wait and collect
A
a check
lot.
in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
That would be the only way that I see feasible to do it. Would be you'd have to pay the deductible, then you'd have to see where the rate went, and then keep a track of that, and then 5 years and then have him pay the difference.
So what if I have him put like $3,000 in escrow? And then we just leave it for the weekend.
There you go.
And then my truck comes back fine. They'll release the money to him. And if it's
That
broken,
would make your wife feel better. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so-
and it's really back to anything with insurance right now. Everything is going up. Home is going up. You know, we're seeing double, triple increases. We're helping a lot of the listeners. It's going, great, but it is a lot. And same with auto is always increasing. Auto is a little more stable than home, but the insurance industry is just a mess right now. So you really don't want to take that extra risk if you don't have to, but it's totally up to you.
Or if you're just as confused as me and Tom are, just call Jamie.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
do
much,
that.
because it's a mess.
It's just easier to go to somebody you know. And
Well,
thank you for.
It's been a mess, but yes, you're an adult. Make adult decisions.
Well, no, thank you for. I appreciate you helping me as half owner of this company, and I can speak for I believe Sam and Butler from this side of the table. We appreciate you stopping Tom from ruining our lives.
Here's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
I'm going to still do it.
Well, we all knew that.
Yeah.
Except unless Crystal gets it.
I was prepared for you to tell me all this.
He's pulling out a scroll.
And I've done the math, and I'm like, there is there's a higher risk of him getting an accident.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you've told me the thousands of times that you've told me I've done the math, have you ever done the math?
It's just something I
No.
say. It doesn't mean it's meaningless. It's meaningless. It just all it means is I've made the decision. I've made a poor decision.
Yeah.
Because neither of us are
Like
good
I
at math.
heard what you said, don't care.
Yeah.
Gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'm gonna do it anyway. I've
done the math.
It's like the bully when they look you in the face as they drop your shoes in the oil. It's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you look at me when you did it? It's worse. If you did it and you think I wasn't looking, that's better. Anyway, I feel like I want to impress my sons by driving them around in Seth's Hellcat, and they'll remember like, oh, my daddy knew someone that was rich and cool and had this car that he used to borrow and drive around.
They will never remember.
They will not care. They will not care.
This is the silliest fantasy you've ever told me.
No. And then they'll have these memories of every once in a while my dad would
My
bring home.
dad borrowed a car.
Exactly.
That'll be the memory. I have never, as a 45-year-old man, and my parents are both dead.
cool.
Right? I'm the only one that has no parents alive. I could tell you that there's never been a time when I've thought back to a time my dad borrowed anything from one of his shady friends.
My stepdad let one of his shady friends keep his old Corvette Stingray.
Was that
with
the one that drove
T-tops.
through the biker gang and killed everybody?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he kept it hidden behind our garage for whatever reason. And then
stolen.
one day, my stepdad, Steve, took me for a ride in it, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
But
I
he
was
could only
12
do it
years
for a
old.
So
little
there
while.
it is.
You won't get too much heat.
You are being nostalgic about your childhood, and you think your kids are going to give a damn.
You're giving
And they're way too young.
You're giving your sons a good trash childhood.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I remember, where did that car come from? There was a mystery. history that I'm like, maybe he's cooler than I thought. I thought he was a nerd that
Steve
liked
stole
birds.
cars. He's the best.
They think you're a nerd that likes plants.
Yeah, I know.
They're
but
not
then,
wrong.
But then they'll see this cool car and they'll be like, whoa, maybe my dad isn't a plant nerd and he's got some sort of hidden like Batman style life that I don't know about.
Wait, you're gonna lie to yourself and say
the hell
that
is going on?
you are Orlando's Batman and you drive around in a white bloodstained car. This is the best. Jamie, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And Butler is laughing in the other room because he knows that this client's as good as gone anyway. The good is gone.
No, that's why we called Jamie Knows Insurance.
You're embarrassing me in front of Jamie.
Jamie's just gonna
That's
give.
my tagline.
No, she's gonna give her most.
Tagline is Jamie Knows Insurance.
She's gonna give her most educated response about insurance, and it's not.
Can we put this in
whatever
the-
the
I
client?
know. It really sucks to be them like the mature adult, all the time. Insurance is so like not, fun.
It's not a
so-
bloodstained car.
Sam Har,
No.
Sam Har, can you put on the end of the year
Oh, I'm writing it down
awards?
right now.
Yeah, for embarrassed in front of client. Please write down Orlando's Batman.
All right, Jamie. Well, thanks for telling me what to do and telling me the smart thing to do. I appreciate it. I still haven't 100%
They'll
made
be
my
calling you in a couple
Yeah.
weeks to get a new.
It's all up to you.
insurance
Don't call
company.
me with your claim problem.
The general will take anybody. That's what he's friends with Shaq. He said, save some time. I'll take anybody, I think, right?
Well, I don't even think
Put
he
one
looked-
of those little life tracker things on him so you can watch him all weekend. Down I-4, you'll know how fast he's going.
Oh, for
like we have
Seth.
on our kids.
Well, that I feel like will make me more nervous. Like having a
Out
fantasy.
of sight, out of mind.
yeah, exactly. That's how I live my life.
Jamie, how can people get a hold of you if they're just as bad at insurance as we are?
Yep, give me a call on my cell phone, 407-415-3814, or jamie@blanchardinsurance.com, and I'll help you out.
There
Awesome.
you go. Hey, thanks for the time. It's always super fun talking to you, and please give everybody in the office a big hello from us.
We will. Thank you, guys.
All right,
All
take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See you, Jamie.
She's so fun. That's what
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
the best clients, man.
I know.
Good Lord.
All right.
She's good at busting balls, man.
So I got to, weigh it out here and see,
We know you did
what
the math.
It's gonna happen. I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Unless
I don't
the
think
crow
it-
but
gets
the,
to him.
yeah, but the crow. You see, you guys don't remember.
The crow
Like,
has power.
I don't mind.
Yeah, but selective power. I feel like she's been using it a lot lately, and maybe she's weakened.
I have.
You've been
definitely-
grinding her
yeah,
down.
I have grinded her down a lot. She's given up a lot.
I hear it a lot
Yeah,
because
yeah. She's
here's
defeated.
Here's the thing about
She gave
crows
up.
is sometimes crows will fly to flat-chested blue jays, and they will tell them, and then the flat-chested blue jay will peck my eyes.
See, but the crow used to have way more confidence like 10, 15 years
You
ago
shook her.
when it was easier to leave me and start a new family. Well, now there's so much baggage.
And you're way
Yeah.
closer to Dr. Manhattan at this point with your unfeeling and crazy ideas. Like you're just
Well,
floating nude in the air, and you're
all I'm saying is that she knows, like, oh, I'm gonna have to, if I divorce this guy, we're gonna have to sell the house. The boys are gonna be sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's weighing that in.
I think of that stuff too. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm all in here.
Too much work. Yeah.
No way out.
So
no way out.
Too much work for her
Marriage.
to leave.
No way out.
Yeah, especially with the kids and you're wrapped up in your finances and all that stuff. Like, so I see it in her eyes that she's done the math and she can't leave. So I just doing
Jesus
a
Christ.
lot
what if we
more.
made
Not a
this-
healthy
What?
relationship.
What?
What if we made it crazier? Okay. What if you phoned in a favor from JC over at Sport Auto Group?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you Don Mealy Chevy, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
phone JC, tell him to get you another truck
Yeah, okay.
similar to yours.
Oh, like a loaner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Park it in the driveway, get the Hellcat, stash it behind your house at Francis's house, kind of like the Corvette,
Okay.
kind of like Steve did.
Hide it
Let's
behind
use
them.
Steve as as sort of the kind of the mastermind in his honor, rather.
Yeah.
And you can park the Hellcat someplace else. Keep the truck on. She'll notice, won't she?
No, not even that. I'm just thinking of J.C. Harrelson, too smart to do that. He's gonna be like, hell no, there's no way I'm
You're not
loading
driving
my
it. No, you're just parking it in the driveway.
Oh,
It's only there as a decoy, dude.
Oh, decoy. So
Decoy truck, so you get Hellcat.
Okay.
You're just gonna have to park
And
it
then let
off-site.
Seth
You can park it at
borrow
my
my-
house. Park it
yeah.
behind my house.
Okay. yeah.
In fact, I will offer as your friend to drive you from your house to my house to get it.
Yeah. Only problem, I've messed my truck a lot of dings and scratches.
But your wife didn't seem to notice because I said yesterday that the doors were dinged, and she said they better not be. And I'm like, I was like, oh god,
No.
you know
Snitch.
we've seen him. I see him in the sunlight when I'm walking back from Publix. I'm like,
No.
ah.
Yeah,
accidental snitch.
No, she knows. Her auto response is bitchy.
Oh,
So that's like a thank you to her.
It's like when it's like a little receipt that you read my text.
Yeah. She just gave you an auto bitchy remark.
Auto bitch.
Bye-bye.